Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Samsung Galaxy Vainglory Invitational. I'm Humanist, joined alongside Zekent. We're ready to break down all of this action for you here today. You know, we've had some matches already go on. We had our third place decider match. We had some community battle royale matches. We're in for a little bit of more battle royale right now, and we actually have some fresh blood up on the stage.
Yeah, I got quite a few new players coming up on stage to play these battle royale matches. It's going to be very, very exciting. And last time it was a 2-0. Do you think it's going to go all 3 games this time around?
You know, I would hope so. You know, I like to see that competitive spirit and, you know, go back and forth. We never like to see the 2-0s.
Yeah, that being said, I mean, Battle Royale is not the most competitive thing out there. It's, you know, if you have a couple minutes here and there.
I'm pretty sure it's the most competitive mode I've ever seen.
There you go.
No cap.
Spoken by Humanist.
No cap there, guys. All right, well, make sure also if you're on Twitter right now, just let us know if you're enjoying the event, how it's going, how you're enjoying the game. Hashtag VaingloryE3, and also throw in that hashtag Samsung Galaxy as well. You'll be entered to win a hoodie and some ice. Some pretty good stuff.
Ooh. I'll take some of that.
Yeah, I know you would as well. All right, guys. Well, actually, I have a list right here, and your community battle royale players are going to be. For the blue team right here, Captain Jeffy, Gabe Vizzle, and Aloha. That seems like a pretty OP lineup right there.
Sounds pretty stacked.
Is that right? Is that right?
I see them right here. I mean, they're sitting right there.
Can confirm. Not sure if my eyes are lying, but yeah, I mean, that's the team right there. Across the board, red team. It's going to be Hardek, Ready Player One, and Forever.
So also a pretty solid lineup. It's going to be very interesting to see how this goes.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, with these lineups, now that I've actually read the teams and everything, I think this could be a 3-game series.
Oh, yeah, it could be very close.
All right. Well, as you know, these guys, it comes down a lot to the luck of the draw, what you random here getting in. But, of course, you got to have that Battle Royale play style. Oh,
yeah, for sure. Battle Royale, you have to switch your strategy a little bit. A little different builds, a little different heroes, and just your mindset going into the game is completely different.
All right, guys. Well, without further ado, let's go ahead and throw it over to our casters, Action Jackson and Four-Court Jester. Take it away, guys.
Someone's been watching too much Silicon Valley.
I thought I heard Action Jacket.
This is the Action Jacket. Yeah, this is the Action Jacket. All right, so anyway, thank you very much, Humanist. We're going to be getting some more Battle Royales underway. Looking forward to seeing which one of these teams comes out ahead. I am banking on Aloha and Gabe Vizzle. I think that's going to be very strong.
No, that's not how this works. We got to rock, paper, scissors, and then you bank.
So what? If I win, do I get to choose?
Yes,
is that
that's how it's always worked. 1, 2, 3.
All right. There you go. I get to choose. Right. This time I'm on the winning side. For once,
sure. Let's remember though. Every time you've lost, I've won, and every time I've won, I've won.
That's true. That's true. You've always won, basically, is what you're trying to say.
Looks like Jizzy, you're no longer my jam. Now it's all about Hardek. I'm putting all my eggs in that basket. So as we get back into this Battle Royale, guys, we're going to be jumping in here fairly soon. But you, too, can participate. Type in right now, Galaxy S7 into the Twitch chat. And we are having 3 more lucky winners go home with 500 ace by the end of by the end of this series. So, you know, a little bit of something for the players, a little bit of something for you. And, wow, look at those comps.
Yeah, and whilst we're just waiting for these guys to lock in their randoms there, you can also type hashtag VaingloryE3 into Twitter for a chance to win a hoodie and some ice. So there's lots of different ways for you to participate in all the action that's going on here.
Intro your team, man.
Let's have a look at the compositions. On my side, we've got Captain Jeffy playing Finn, Aloha on Scarf, and Gabe Vizzle on Taka.
Man, that's pretty scary, but that's going to be OP Hardek, who's clearly OP. On that Glaive, we are going to have Forever on that Rona, and Ready Player One has our Catherine. So, big things to note right here is Catherine very likely to be going into the tank role, and it looks like Captain Jeffy, he's picked up that Iron Guard contract as well, but a little bit more crystal. In fact, that's a double crystal. Aloha picking up some candy, but on the flip side, look at the tank ability, and that's a crystal Glaive.
Yeah, interesting that we're seeing the Crystal Glaive. Obviously, in the most recent patch, Afterburn had its CP scaling increased slightly, but it's a marginal thing, and aside from that, you don't do that well with Crystal Power. Look at Jeffy, though, just chunking out Forever already with that Quibble as Gabe Vizzle tries to go and find some more poke. He gets stunned up. Look at the return damage. Ready Player and his team find the first kill. Now, that's going to be the return. Hardek needs to be careful, though, as Aloha looks for the poke. Ready Player One is actually getting taken quite low here, though. Oh, it's a weapon power Scarf.
That's exactly the reason
yes,
why. Yep.
Aloha knows me, man.
Now, I'm really curious to see if he's
about.
going to get an alternating current, if it's just going to be straight into that damage. But, I mean, first blood for my team and Aloha.
That was a nice Afterburn coming across. Aloha, he's trying to make his way back to the bush. You can see he's taking a lot of damage here, though. Ready Player One is going to find that kill. Jeffy doesn't have the cooldowns to keep the pressure on the Hardek right now. He's trying to get in range with the boots.
You say that.
Nice chunk out of the Quibble, but Gabe Vizzle can't get there in time, and the Storm Guard bubble doing a lot of work here for Ready Player
my
One. Gabe
goodness.
Vizzle's getting annihilated.
Absolutely.
What is going on? Now Captain
down,
Jeffy,
going
yeah,
down,
he's not
Captain.
getting out of this one. It's going to be 4 kills already for your team. What's going on here, Forcord? I don't like this.
Sight Jester. So the captain goes down with the ship, and now this turret. I'm not entirely confident the turret is going to drop, but they are juggling out very nicely. Ready Player One does now take the aggro. They still have to deal with Aloha, and the burning is enough.
Hardek. Yeah, he didn't stop, drop, and roll there. Aloha alone picks up the ace.
All right, team.
That's more like it. That's more like it.
Team, I gotta have a chat with you later. You cannot give aces in this battle royale mode. Like dying out in a stagger, that's fine. But now they have an ace. Now they're coming in. All the crystal is there for the teams they've bought, and now it looks like Blue. They're gonna push right through that turret, just like what we were trying to do before.
All right, so Captain Jeffy, notably, is level 6 now. Does have that Force Accord to maybe go for some aggression here. As Hardek gets quibbled up.
Yep.
Aloha, let's talk a little bit about his build, because
Sure.
it probably seems really strange until you realize
Fan
that
flame.
now, when you crit, you actually get 2 stacks of your burn there, so it can be quite effective.
Yep, that's the entire strategy. Fan the flames and just burn people down.
Captain Jeffy's doing a lot of work on the front line here with those quibbles, but forever, you've got to be careful of Aloha's damage as well. Ready Player One using the Storm Guard there isn't going to have it on cooldown for a while, so he's got to be careful of the damage as well.
So that ace ultimately only did bring them one of those turrets. And now as we posture, I mean, the triple melee, they got to just jump Scarf. That's the big thing right here. Jump Scarf, he's down. Gabe Vizzle's a one-trick pony with his hits. There they go.
They're trying to go in, but forever already very low. Great red mist in all 3 people. Blast Tremor hits everyone as well. But Gabe Vizzle just barely is able to get the Kaku out. Not getting quite as nice for Jeffy as he goes down.
Trap.
Aloha, got to be careful here. He's going to make it back to the safety of the turrets. It's a 1-for-1 trade. That fight looked like it could have gone either way.
I'm actually really impressed that Gabe Vizzle didn't just straight up die right there. As soon as that blast tremor hit, it was pretty immense.
Oh, Aloha. He's knocked into the wall. Doesn't have an easy way out of this one. Trying to find some return
Stun.
damage.
Nice
but
stun.
Gabe Vizzle getting the stun up, has to Kaku back again. I feel like really every single member of the blue team needs to be there for these fights to go their way.
Hardek is probably going to be the target here. If Gabe gets those cooldowns down 3 seconds, X-Retsu, he's probably going to go for the kill.
Yeah, we might see a forced accord here out of Jeffy as well. If they can pull them into the turret, could be a lot of damage, but Gabe is, oh, the Kaku just barely able to come out in time. Good forced accord, buys some time, but a flare spots out Gabe Vizzle. Now look at this, he's very low. Great damage coming out of Hardek as Jeffy needs to get back to the turret. He might go down here.
He's gone.
Yeah, it's going to be 2 quick kills for the red team. So they're doing a decent job here.
Okay,
Aloha
now
prevents the ace, though.
that Death Beauty spiral right there. The red mist into the Blood Song and the crit right there. Boom.
That is a lot of damage, I got to admit. Actually, Hardek, I mean, he's got the Afterburn now. Do you think he's going to continue going Crystal Power? Oh, Hardek. Okay, he's going to buy.
On purpose.
Yeah, of course.
If he doesn't, it's going to be a tension bow, but I suspect he's just going to try to tank up and probably get a little bit more crystal. Okay, or a broken myth. I mean, that's a little bit more.
I was not expecting the broken myth. That's one thing I was not expecting for
He still
sure.
has 1,500 cash in his pocket, and yeah, there's a little bit more tankiness now
I think
for
that,
him.
I mean, getting more tanky here makes a lot of sense to me. Because if he would just went Aftershock and tank, I mean, that's a strong frontline build. But he's going for a bit more damage than I would have expected. Aloha, where's he going from here, actually? That's another question I want to ask. He's got Sorrow Blade. So he's not going for the crits necessarily. He's not going for the Fan the Flames only. He is actually going for auto attack damage.
We were actually just watching Forever in his little webcam there, playing on the Samsung S7 Edge right there, as all of our Battle Royale players are playing on it. And, you know, it's very crisp. These guys are making the plays, so it's clearly working out very well for them.
Yeah, they're doing a good job with it. Here comes the Blast Tremor as they try and go for the fight. Aloha is able to get away from that Afterburn. Gabe Vizzle also backing away here, but Jeffy. Oh, what is that damage out of Hardek? Great forced accord, though. Lands on the 3, but it's not going to be enough. Hardek chasing down Aloha. Can he get out of this one? Just barely able to get back to the safety of the turret, but he's going to take a while to regenerate back up. There's a lot of space for Hardek and co to really pressure here.
Just like in the Hunters, it's in Hunters match, G2 went double Crystal for the burst. That's exactly what this is. Hardek gets in. He's basically playing like a Taga. Crystal Taka, Crystal Glaive, they're both very similar. One a little bit more mobile than the other, but of course Hardek can just definitely do a little bit more sustained damage on top of it.
Yeah, Hardek's actually doing a lot of damage right now. Every time he jumps in, he's going for Aloha. This time, Aloha knocked into Forever. Great combo there coming out of OP Hardek. Now, he is able to get just out of the way of the turret, but now Forever in a very bad position. Going to be getting taken down by the turret. Ready Player One needs to get out of here lest the ace come across for the blue team. Stormguard banner should be wearing out soon. Gabe Vizzle, once that goes away, likely going to be going in, finding the damage. Good Quibble coming across as well. It's an ace for the blue team. Finally, they're able to take a fight. It's been quite some time since they've won one.
Yeah, well, we didn't have any energy there for the captains, and I believe, no, the boots Boots. She doesn't have boots. Okay, so that's why there was no boots on that. So if you can't run away from Jeffy, I mean, Gabe Vizzle was just going to be able to chase him down with that crystal. He has that Shatter Glass and the very important Void Battery right there. That energy is going to be absolutely vital because he's a two-trick pony, right? He goes into the X-Retsu and the dodge, and then he has to wait and reset.
Okay, here's another fight. Hardek trying to get onto Gabe Vizzle, does do a lot of upfront damage. Polite Company not going to be enough to save him. Force Court comes out just too late as Jeffy, also very low right now, doing some good damage on it forever. It's just not going to be enough. And Aloha, he wasn't in the fight. If he'd maybe been there poking from the sidelines, I think a turnaround could have happened for the blue team, but red team really pulling ahead here.
You see what Aloha and Forever actually have very similar builds, both of them going into the Soro and then into, from there, the breaking point. So just a lot of reflexes across the board here as well.
Aloha stunned up. That gives time for Hardek to position. That Afterburn Blast Hammer does not land, though.
Hardek's going for it.
Some nice boosts. He's looking for that knockback. Doesn't find it, but doesn't need it. The Blood Song wipes out Aloha. It's going to be the ace quite late on in the death timers of the other two members of the blue team as red guys push onto these turrets here.
No, that's definitely going to be another turret gone. Gabe Vizzle can just run in circles all he wants. Jeffy might be able to turn it.
Hardek is really keeping the pressure on, but Jeffy with a great two-man quibble does find some nice damage. Gabe Vizzle goes down, though. Look at the red mist. Hardek can't find the stun onto Jeffy. You got to remember, Finn cannot be stunned, but the damage is going to be enough to take him down. On the flip side, another turret for the red team. They're looking to really push this momentum.
A little bit more crystal for everyone. Now, again, a big thing for these teams. Ready Player One, Pure Tank has an Aftershock. We have double Aftershock on that side as well. And we saw that before a little bit in the Battle Royales. But with that tank, like having that front line, Captain Jeffy is just really relying on the fact that he has a Crucible plus his natural health scaling. That is it. Nobody else here. Like Aloha is actually, in theory, a bit more of a tank here at this point with that double plated coats, or coated plates.
Yeah, I feel like at this point it's very hard for the blue team, obviously, to come back into it. They need to have a full 3 versus 3 fight where they're able to kite around, do some poke damage with Aloha. Aloha, if he can maybe finish up another big-ticket defensive item, could stay alive long enough to get the DPS out. He's got to stack up the breaking point to really be effective.
Yeah, and the breaking point, I mean, just like the Broken Myth, you're going to have to be sustaining in these fights. Longer and longer it goes, the better your stacks are going to be. But so far, I mean, Team B, the red, they've really just been annihilating Aloha.
Here comes another fight, though. Hardek alone this time, actually pulled out of a bad situation by Jeffy as Forever tries to get on the back line. Aloha taking so much damage right now. Can he find Forever? Great reflex block keeps Rona alive. It's a 1-for-1 trade at this point, but look at this. Red team, Red Player One is doing a good amount of work on the front line. Forever is the first to go down, though, as Jeffy tries to go maybe take down Ready Player One here. See a good quibble coming across, but the Stormguard Band is really just an irritation at this point. Gabe Vizzle, very low on the health, but look at this. No energy for Ready Player One. Blue team actually finds themselves the ace.
Gabe was actually playing that extremely well. He was juggling out his cooldowns. He has that crystal. He has those broken mist stacks. He just kept going up and up and up. And from there, if you can't take him down, there's no way that Ready Player One is going to be able to get Captain Jeffy. And this is actually looking pretty dire. We're only going to have Hardek up here. It's full hit points across the board here for A, and that's for sure another turret.
This is one of the closest battle royales I think we've seen, actually. Still within 2,000 gold between the two teams at this late stage. Hardek trying to go in and maybe go for some more damage here on Gabe Vizzle and Jeffy. You saw that Crucible coming across. Look at Hardek. He's going to get stunned up, but he's got so much damage, and the cooldown reduction is keeping the pressure on. That Afterburn is something like a 4-second cooldown at this point.
The sidestep on that quibble.
Very nice job by Hardek to get out of that one, but with that kill and 43 seconds on Jeffy, this is a big opportunity for the red team.
Yeah, absolutely. You see Aloha and Gabe Vizzle, they're going to be just running for the hills. Now, we do have a lot of ground to cover here from red if they do want to push it out. We did actually get some infusions. You see it, at least 5 players here have their level 12 infusions ready to go. And after this cash grab, I mean, from those deaths, if red doesn't win it right here, they actually could stand to lose.
They absolutely could, but they have got a lot of pressure here. They just need Hardek to get in position to really help them out. He was waiting quite far back for a long time.
Well, what I mean is, like, if they lose this fight and they don't win, like, it's a reverse sweep. I mean, there's not going to be anything left in the tank here.
All right, Hardek trying to start off this fight, looking to maybe juke around and get the knockback on the Gabe Vizzle, but he can't find it. Aloha knocked into the turret. Hardek is very, very low right now, though. The Crucible coming across isn't going to be enough to save him. His Ready Player One also could be going down. They've gone far too deep. Red team, they tried to dive 2 turrets, and that was just not going to happen. Jeffy should be able to pick up Forever here, and blue team with the ace buff could maybe go through and come with the win. They're going to be looking to close out the game.
Oh, me, oh my, Jackson, you're actually in good shape here to finally get your first
Finally,
game.
right? Am I right?
Yep.
It was looking a bit close, though, for Comfort for a while, I got to admit.
Now 30 seconds left. Aloha is the consistent damage dealer, but with the just cooldown reduction out there, like the natural here for Gabe, because he's really not, have huge cooldowns on that Crystal Taka. I'm pretty sure this is just game.
Well, we've only got 8 seconds on Hardek, and we saw earlier on that he was able to jump in pretty much 1 versus 2. The big issue for him last fight was that he was fighting under 2 turrets as well.
They couldn't clear the wave fast enough.
Yeah.
That's something
He's got
I didn't account for.
infusion also on Hardek, so he's doing a lot
Everybody
more
has
damage.
infusions at this point. Like, you're getting to the point where it's 6-item builds.
Oh,
I
absolutely.
mean, look at Ready Player One. Has all the armor plus now a little bit of clockwork on top of that. OP Hardek.
Ready Player One, I think maybe just forgot you can't stack infusions anymore. Picked up both the weapon power.
There's nothing else to do with the money.
Look at the scout traps, too.
Scout traps have defeated the party brush.
Okay,
Right.
so we're
This is
looking
the
to
final
see
fight, man.
What
This is
could
it.
be a clash here. Scout traps do spawn out the advance of the
I can
blue
hear
team.
them yelling.
They're getting into it.
All
Both
right.
teams really want that headset, man. Those headphones.
I can see just Hardek just, well, actually, no, that's your team over there. They're just pumping themselves out. They're going
All
for
right, Hardek going in for the fight. Does find a good stun onto Gabe Fizzle right off the bat, but look at the damage onto him. He's got to get out of here forever.
Boom.
Is going to be staying alive with the lifesteal from the Red Mist, and Red Team are at the advantage right now. They're not fighting under the turrets this time. It's a much better position to be in. Aloha
Run,
can't
Jeffy,
kite
run.
back. Red Team, they are in a great position to go for the kills. Jeffy is going to be denying the ace, but I'm not sure it's enough.
There's no point. By the time he actually gets anywhere useful, the big lumbering river troll is just not going to be a factor, and that will actually be the GG. I knew that Hardek could pull this one out.
I'm never going to win a game, man. I'm never going to win a game. It's going to be Hardek's team. Your choice in this match, taking home game 1. It is a best of 3, so maybe if I'm lucky, we're going to see that reverse sweep from the blue team. But congratulations to Hardek forever and Ready Player One for picking up game 1.
Game was so hard to call just down to the end of it, but they couldn't wave clear fast enough. They weren't able to press the advantage, and as you saw, I mean, multiple infusions by the end of it. That doesn't matter. Once you're 6 items, the cash is irrelevant, and I'm very proud of my team here on the left-hand side.
You're proud. What did you do to help them win?
See, Zekin said it best, Mr. Action Jacket. You have to take in different approach to Battle Royale. My team, we clearly have that different approach.
Zekin may have said it best, but you say it best when you say nothing at all. So let's hear from Humanist. I'm looking forward to hearing your thoughts on that game. It was very close, actually, very back and forth compared to usual.
You might not want to hear my thoughts, because what I'm really thinking here is that you got a bit of a curse going, buddy. And I think as long as I just predict against you, I'll probably win.
I'm just getting wrecked here. Everyone is going into me.
Hey, I played with Humanist in EU. We went undefeated.
This guy predicted every hero in every Battle Royale match we played. I called hacks, but like he was clearly not hacking. That was insane.
Oh, man. You got to learn here, Jacket.
All right, Zekin, are you with me? Come on, man. Don't
It's
break
okay.
my heart.
I got your back. I got your back. We
Yes!
got this. We're going
That's
to
what
take
I'm
it
talking
home,
about.
right?
Yeah, I don't know. I thought we were teaming here.
No,
I thought
no,
we were
no.
teaming up. Everyone
we're
against
done.
Jackson right now. Okay.
We're done. We're
All right.
done.
All right, guys. Well, congratulations to the red team there. Of course, also, let's give Forever a little shout out. It is his birthday today, so he gets a birthday win to start things off there.
Very nice way to start off your day.
Definitely.
Can't really
is.
complain.
Can't complain. And also, these guys are going to be walking away with some Samsung level wireless headphones as well if they win this match. So pretty cool thing indeed. And like I said before, I'm a little jealous I don't get one of these.
I mean, you can always go take one.
Yeah, maybe I can.
That's one of the players who win.
Snipe one off the table. All right. Well, these guys, they're hanging out, getting ready in the lobby for game number 2 here, moving forward. It was kind of a wild match. Weapon Scarf?
Yeah, it was actually very interesting to see. It was actually performing quite well up until the end, where Hardek was just all over the place with that glaive. The afterburn on such a short cooldown with the extra cooldown acceleration was just way too much to deal with.
Did I say Hardek OP too much, and he came in with his OP Hardek account?
Sure, why not? Let's go with that. It's his fault.
So. I like it. All right. Well, I'm sure these guys will be ready to launch this match at any moment. But we have these guys ready on stage. Action Jackson and Forecourt Jester ready to make all the calls. So we'll send it right back to these guys.
You know, I think I might gift my Action Jacket to one of them. maybe that would help. That's what they need.
So my team? If
No.
if you lose 2-0, does one of my team get the Action Jacket?
Absolutely not.
So it's a consolation prize then?
No, it's a boost for them. It's something to help them perform
After they've
better.
lost?
No, during this game.
Well, you got to do it like right now then.
They're too far away.
Yeah, see, exactly. I knew you didn't have it in you. But, guys, what you could actually have with you going into this is a Galaxy S7 giveaway. So right now, Galaxy S7, say it right now in Twitch chat, 500 ice. By the end of this, 3 entries will get themselves a little bit of a chest to go home and do whatever you want with.
And if you're on Twitter, you can do hashtag VaingloryE3 for the chance to win a hoodie. Sadly, not my action jacket. And some ice.
That would have been the best.
What, giving away my jacket?
The action jacket on Twitter.
The button's falling off, man. It's gone through too much in these last few weeks.
It's had too much action.
Yes, it has. All right, so we're going to be heading into this Battle Royale very soon. Obviously, I know which team you're aligned with. What heroes would you like to see here? If we could see anything, if you were able to predict perfectly or give these guys certain heroes.
It's really hard to say that Lance is just not a well-rounded, balanced, and awesome hero to have in Battle Royale. So if I had to bless my team with any of my special powers and prediction, it would be get the Lance. You know, do whatever the Konami code, whatever. I don't care, right?
Actually,
just
you predicted all the heroes, right? With Humanist, that's what he was
well,
saying.
He said all the heroes, but
what's
what
your
he
prediction
actually
Foresight?
meant is that I, for whatever reason, like 3 in a row of my 8 games of my undefeated streak in EU, I was able to predict my hero.
Your hero.
Not all of the heroes.
Right. Okay.
It was
so
just my hero.
Predict one hero for your team.
Lance.
Lance. You think they're going to get Lance?
I'm feeling it. I feel that the Lance advance will just win out. The wall. You had to think for the wall.
I'm hoping you get the joke poke. Personally.
The joke poke?
Yeah.
That's
when you miss the impale. The Lance advance is when you land.
I get it because it's a joke of a poke.
Yeah, exactly.
But I'm feeling like if you guys get that Crystal Taka is just so hard to play around.
It can be, although it did go quite well for you before.
Hey, your Crystal Taka did amazing, man.
Yeah, that's true. All right, we got the comps coming in here. Oh, that's my team. That's my team. All right.
My bad.
Finally. Okay, so let's look at the comps. Aloha playing Glaive, Gavizzle on the Lance, Ozo for Captain Jeffy. And on your side, you've got
Kroll, Adagio, and Rona. If this is a buff Rona comp, this is as much of a buff Rona comp as I've ever seen.
I actually really like your composition here, but we'll have to see which of these teams can come out ahead. Right now, Aloha, Gavizzle, and Captain Jeffy need to win a game to stay in the series. If Hardek, Ready Player One, and Forever take another game off the fold, they are going to be just the victorious team. They're going to be winning some headsets. It's going to be awesome for them.
All right, so we do actually pick up no Iron Guard for your side, but Ready Player One once more is going to be bearing that burden. Does he? Oh, you're quite right. Good call. Good call. Did just see it now. So both sides are going to be having those quintessential tanks, the roams, the supports, whatever you want to call them here. Forever has triple weapon blades, so it is going to be a bit more of a carry Rona. And when Hardek, when she jumps in, you heal up, you get the fire going. That's the whole plan.
Well, here comes the fight. Ready Player One already getting taken down as Aloha tries to dive onto the turret, get the knockback onto Forever. The boots are not going to be enough to get him away as Hardek wants to find some more. Jeffy could be in a bad position right now. The Githian wall not enough. They try and turn around the kill. Maybe find Hardek there, but it's not going to happen. 2 kills for the blue team, 1 for the red side.
So with Ready Player One actually going to be tanking up, that's going to be the big initiation factor. Crow goes in, takes a lot of the aggro right there. Forever then follows up, and Hardek basically gets from afar, just 3-point dunks with that alternating current a little bit later on. Broken mid, he's going to be an absolute monster to deal with. So the counter, I would say, is that Captain Jeffy, Gavizzle, Aloha, they got to just rush down Hardek.
Yeah, I agree. I think Hardek is the target for the red team. You can see the Impale is actually going to land, but Aloha does not follow up with that jump. Bounce coming in from Jeffy. They're doing a lot of damage to Forever, but now Hardek trying to find the burst of judgment. He's actually going to get stunned out of it. Beautiful play coming through from Aloha. That's going to be a 1-for-1 trade for the time being, but Jeffy and Aloha find another. Ready Player One needs to get back to the turret, but a bangarang beautifully played from the red team. They're going to find themselves the ace only just nearly 2 minutes into the game.
Well played. Like Aloha with that stun, that was the game changer right there. So ace buff minions come in. That's a dead turret, dead to rights for sure. 2 minutes in, definitely a little bit of a faster pace, but Forever, yes, it's going to be a buff Rona. Yes, you're going to do some great things. Needs a little bit more armor, I think, on this one. Wait, no, armor. Yeah, well, armor for Aloha or the shield for Jeffy. I definitely go a bit more armor, though.
Okay, so after that fight, at least blue team were able to pick up some items. We've got the alternating current now finished for Hardek.
Yep.
That was a big difference in the last fight because Jeffy died early and picked up an aftershock. That was quite a lot of damage. Aloha trying to play sneakily on the side there, maybe go for an afterburn. Doing some good damage on a Ready Player One. Ready Player One using that smite so early seems a little bit unnecessary, but now Forever trying to jump in, keep this fight going. Does have the Red Mist available and skilled up, but he doesn't have the Fury for it, and Hardek is just getting jumped on. He does find a block for the stun portion there. Can he heal himself? It's not going to be in time as Aloha does find himself that first kill, but he goes down. Now Jeffy jumping back in, but he's extremely low. Ready Player One and Forever, they're going to be able to turn this one around. Gavizzle needs to use that Githian wall, just timed perfectly there Forever, I don't think he's going to be able to chase this one down. It's not an ace, but it is a good fight for the blue team.
You can see Aloha. I think it's, no, that's Captain Jeffy on your screen right there playing on that Samsung Galaxy S7 Edge. And, you know, again, like precision movements, these guys are making it work. The games are absolutely outstanding, but going a little bit too deep, looking for Hardik, I think that knockback from Aloha was actually more helpful than hindrance. Because they had to chase him, right? And they chased him right back into the team that are blue, and that's where the red mist really kind of shone.
I think Hardik lived for the bare minimum time he needed to, but the Bangarang gets blocked this fight. Now Hardik stunned into the wall.
Rip.
He is going to go down. Red mist coming through from Forever, but he can't stay on top of Aloha. That's going to let him get out of there. Forever just doesn't have the damage here. Jeffy coming across, picking up another one, and an ace for the red team. Very nice fight for them.
Yeah, the burst potential is absolutely outstanding here from the Action Jackson side of things. So, you know, with that ace coming in, that's going to be another turret. This is actually looking pretty dire for my side.
It is indeed. I might finally, I thought maybe last game would finally be the case.
I'll give you one game of
finally win one.
6 or so.
That's not terrible odds, but Hardik, oh, he has got terrible odds for living here. Knocked into a very bad position. Does get a big burst of judgment off. He's cutting back. He might be able to get out the impale.
No,
misses.
man.
Jeffy with a great acro bounce does get into range, but now he's in a bad position. Forever should be able to take this one down. Acro bounce not going to be enough, and Forever actually jumping forward, picking up Gabe Bizzle. Also, blue team, that was a very nice fight.
Right, but now they got to capitalize. Now they got to push forward. They got to get some of these turrets going. So, I mean, they've had lots of time to go back home, and now you guys are just pounding up. Bonesaw coming in. Aloha looking to really bring that sustained damage and puncturing right through. And if Ready Player One, Hardik, I mean, both of them building that armor, if they can't survive through these buffs of red, I mean, Aloha gets in, Jeffy gets in, then it's just not going to matter.
Red team needed some retail therapy after that last fight, so they just went ahead and bought everything in the store. So many items picked up as they head back to base. That could be bad for the blue team in this next fight.
Jeffy right now is the big guy that I'm watching. Those the Bangarangs are making it happen. It's very choreographed, though.
Gabe Bizzle, he's trying to set something up here. Ready Player One is in the middle of the enemy team, not really doing any work, just trying to get away here. Look at Jeffy jumping onto Hardik. Hardik in the middle of the fight. He needs to get out of here as Aloha dives onto him yet again. Good red mist lands across everyone, but Forever only has so much in his back pocket. He gets one kill. That's all he can find. Gabe Bizzle and Jeffy, they're looking to keep this push going.
Yeah, Jeffy again, like he's kind of the player to watch for me right now, because with that aftershock and now that broken myth, he's just been, you know, bouncing around heads. The Bangarangs, yeah, they've been blocked, but they forced out those blocks, which brings in Aloha and Gabe to bring in their CC, and he's just been laying down the law. This could actually be something like a 9-minute game at this rate.
It absolutely could. We're really seeing a good deal of push coming in from the red team. They found all but the final 2 turrets in their enemy base.
Yep.
I feel like the big thing for the blue team that could sort of put them back in this game is maybe actually a Crucible on Ready Player One and Hardik finishing up like an Aegis, so he can live long enough to deal damage. Yeah,
the Aegis would definitely go a long way. The Coda Plates isn't really the problem. The problem is, of course, Captain Jeffy. So that being said, I mean, majority of the time in these fights, Dodger's just running around. He is the primary target, just like what we did say a little bit earlier. He has to be that way, and now the engage.
Yeah, red team, they want to keep the momentum that they have so far in this game as Jeffy jumps in.
First.
It does land a lot of damage onto Jeffy, but there's a Bangarang. Hardik stuck in the middle of the fight.
Whoa.
Good AoE coming out of Forever. Hardik kiting perfectly. Aloha also going to go down, and now Gabe Bizzle is 1 versus 3.
Run, Gabe, run.
Hardik and co, they had a beautiful fight there, but can they find the ace? Gabe Bizzle, he's nearly gone down. Forever snipes him out. It's 12 kills to 12. Dead even gold. This is an extremely close game.
It's really hard to go. If you can't bring down Hardik, he will bring you to your knees. And he lived through all of that, even without that Aegis, just with that reflex block. Ready Player One tanked up a lot of that damage. I was actually rather surprised that she did live right through it all, but they swept targets, and that was probably a mistake.
So look at how many turrets Hardik's team is able to take right away
that's it.
after getting that fight win for them. They have got a big gold swing as a result, but of course they can't spend it until they next die.
Right.
So that doesn't matter so much. Things are pretty much dead even right now.
If they're going to fight, it's better to fight in the opponent's base, because they then have so much ground to cover.
Yeah, certainly if you lose the fight there, then the red team needs to go all the way across, but here comes the engagement.
Whoa,
actually roots
double
on
root.
2 people. Hardik, he's trying to position well here, moving actually into the fight so Aloha can't just snipe him down, but Hardik is not easily getting out of this one. He's actually got a reflex block that jukes Jeffy into thinking that he can get away. Jeffy, acro bounce, it's not going to be enough. Gabe Bizzle, last man standing again for the red team. Forever and Ready Player One doing a great job of doing the work while Hardik gets focused. Gabe Bizzle, Githian Wall is going to keep him safe, But blue team, they've started winning fight after fight.
So the big thing is, again, like they're always after Hardic, which is the correct call, but they can't seem to seal it in. They can't really bring it down early enough, and he kites out, and Captain Jeffy just getting whammed on. That was actually a big thing for Forever there.
There's 15 seconds on 2 members of the red team right now. This could be 2 turrets picked up from the blue side if they want to.
Honestly, yeah, it has to be. It has to be.
Forever needs to go in, though. He was taking his time deciding
is.
to go for that. Actually, that might have stopped them from picking up all the turrets they could have. So a little bit of a misplay there, I would argue, from the blue team.
It wouldn't have been game. The extra cash definitely would have went a long way, but now they're going to regroup with Hardic, who's coming back. Look at this engage. They're warhorning it forward. They're looking for this engage because they need to know, or they need to fight right now.
They do, but Forever is sitting in the wings here looking for the opportunity to
Goes
ready
the Hart.
player one.
Hart.
With
Oh,
Hell's
no.
Heart, Gabe Fizzle stops it from landing onto anyone, but Jeffy already quite low, and Bangarang does not
no.
connect. Hardek is so healthy, still doesn't get stunned. Great burst of judgment coming out from him. Blue team wiping out the red side in that last
Just leave
fight.
him. Leave
This should
him.
be the
Leave
end of
him.
the game. Yeah, they
Come on,
should
team, push.
They should definitely just go for the turrets here. Hardek, especially given that he has a lot of their damage. Gabe Fizzle's burning away. I don't think it's going to be enough to pick up the kill, but Forever should find the turret.
I mean, I understand what Red's doing here. They're trying to be, they're trying to be that distraction. They're seeing what they can do because Aloha just annihilated one of those turrets. If Aloha actually takes out Hardic, they
it's
still
not
might
enough.
win.
Hardek should be able to pick up that kill. He's going to be able to
Never
find
mind.
it as the
Hardek
afterburn
OP.
away comes in from Aloha. Foresight Jester wins again. I can't win today, man. I cannot win.
You say dishonorable. You say things like I would never play with you or you're a lesser player, but you can't beat the predictions of Battle Royale.
Well, we've had quite a few 2-0s today, actually, in these Battle Royales and in the third, fourth place game. But what I'm really excited to see is coming up at 3 o'clock, whether or not it's going to be a 2-0 between TSM and Invincible Armada. That's going to be a great series.
That is by far going to be the most hype series that we've ever seen because not only is TSM the previous world champion and now the previous North American champion, like it's a heavyweight team through and through, but now the winners of VIPL 3 are here and they are ready to show their stuff up against these North American teams.
Absolutely. It's going to be an awesome game. Just to break
Can
down
somebody
this one
tell
a little
Rona
bit
to
more.
stop,
Yeah,
please?
Rona's just going for it, man. Dancing in the base. Very happy with the victory.
Almost goes with the music from the neighboring booth. Almost.
Nearly fits. All right, so Humanist, talk us through that last game. Was there a glimmer of hope for my team at all?
Yes, there definitely was. Ozo, he was doing a lot of work there. At the end of the day, I mean, Hardic, he was on point with those reflex blocks, getting those huge verses out, and tough stuff. But Jackson, I mean, it feels bad, man.
It does feel bad, but maybe I can predict the winner of the finals later today. Maybe
Yeah.
I'll be able to get something out of this.
That would be your consolation prize.
That would be my consolation prize.
I would say whatever, both teams playing, just tell Jackson not to predict your team.
It's called the caster curse for a reason, right?
The Action Jackson is now the caster curse of Vainglory.
All right.
Congratulations, you're welcome. Zeke,
Well,
what do you think
he
about it?
had my back before this. Do you still have my back, Zeke?
Yo, I still got your back. Always.
Right on.
Always and forever.
Consolation prize.
But this time, Forever did take the win.
Well, that's sweet. Sweet of you, Zeke, and good guy. And, yeah, Forever, Ready Player One, and Hardic able to walk away with the 2-0 in that Community Battle Royale match. It was pretty good stuff. I thought that they were actually going to lose there in the second game, but, yeah.
Honestly, it was pretty close. I mean, the other side had a very good opportunity to win it, but they lost the team fights at the wrong times.
Yeah, they definitely did. I mean, right there at the end, though, that last Bangarang in, like, during the time from he started Bangarang full health. By the time he almost reached his target, it was like 10% health. He was just like getting melted down on the way. So not a mechanic of the Bangarang, just a mechanic of playing against OP people.
Yeah, I mean, it was absolutely fantastic to watch. I mean, Hardic OP, very OP.
I'd say so. He named himself OP Hardic.
That's like a little bit self-serving right there.
All right, guys. Well, it was good stuff. That's what we love, our community battle royale matches. That's what it's all about, And so right now, also, I'm going to go ahead and let you guys know, if you want to win a hoodie, if you want to win some ice, go ahead and get out there and tweet hashtag VaingloryE3 with the hashtag Samsung Galaxy. And, I might get out there and do that myself.
Probably should do it. You might have good odds.
Yeah, pretty good odds. And if you guys are at E3, make sure to come by the booth. Say hi to us. Say hi to Zeke. Bother him a little bit. We have over here a bunch of Samsung Galaxy S7s all set up with Vainglory ready to play. So you guys, if your device is out of battery, these ones won't be. They're set up with that Vulcan technology, 30% more battery life and efficiency.
Oh, yeah, it would be absolutely fantastic. I mean, devices, they do perform very well. Your taps are a little bit better, and overall, it's solid. Dude,
taps are better than, we're doing good. Guys, but I know you're all looking forward to this finals match here at the Samsung Galaxy Vainglory Invitational. And the finals are going to be going live at 3 p.m. I've got word on that. Until then, we're going to take a quick break, so don't go anywhere, guys, and we'll be back. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Samsung Galaxy Vainglory Invitational. We're live here at E3 at the Samsung Galaxy stage. I'm Humanist, joined alongside Zekent, our analyst. We've been breaking down all the action for you guys throughout the day. But here we are. We're ready for the main event. We're going to be having Team Solo Mid up against Invincible Armada. These teams fought their way here into these finals matches, and I'm sure it's going to be fireworks.
Yeah, it's going to be absolutely fantastic. Both of these teams, highly mechanically skilled players, and it's going to be very interesting to see how well they match up against each other because we have seen from both sides very, very dominant performances.
Definitely. Speaking of dominant performances, new hero coming on to the fold. I heard it's pretty dominant indeed. Her name is Lyra. Let's go ahead and check it out right now.
Yeah, she has the Imperial Sigil, heals a little bit, does some damage, but only in a certain zone. So you have to make sure you get your zone control down pat. And right here, her ultimate, the portals. I mean, it's so fun. You jump around the map, bring your allies with you, bring your enemies into your team. It's going to be something to play with.
That's so cool. I love those kind of like portal Blink style abilities right there. So yeah. So yeah. I mean that's not even just like for your allies or just yourself. Enemies can go through that as well. So it's gonna be kind of dangerous.
Yeah, of course there is the Bright Bulwark, which does prevent your enemies from using their dashing abilities, so they won't be able to use those movement abilities that so many heroes can escape with.
So can you use that like around like area like Kraken Pit?
Oh
like,
yeah.
There? So
wherever you want.
Oh my goodness, that's just like you're here, you're there. I'm over here. It's hard to track.
I'm
down.
all over the place, but I mean,
I'm all over the place.
No, you're not. You're good. You're on point.
We're on point right now? Okay, guys. Well, we have our teams getting ready. They're at their desks over here. So let's talk about Team Solo Mid first.
All right, you got Mixi, Cola Meek, and of course Flash X, their captain. And this is a team that has, ups and downs. They do extremely well sometimes, but there are times where they aren't quite on point. But now, I'm very much looking forward to seeing how they turn up today. Yeah,
I mean, they showed up yesterday on fire, just rolled through their opponents, and I'm curious to see how they stack up against IA. This is one of the teams I think that plays best in the late game, oftentimes when their back is against the wall. Maybe some early game mistakes happen, maybe it's all planned out, but they do those bend, don't break situations and seem to always pull it out.
Yeah, one of the most fantastic things about Team Solo Mid is that even when they fall behind early on, they are always in the mindset that they can win the game. They are always ready to make a comeback, and that's very scary for the opposing team.
Yeah, definitely. Well, Mixi, he's a phenomenal laner. Cole the Meek, it's so hard to get him at any point in that jungle. If you don't kill him, if you don't keep track of him, he's going to be taking your backs away, denying your jungle away from you constantly through the game. And, of course, led by Flash X, just a phenomenal captain.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic team coming out. But I've got to say, Mixi is a player to watch in this team right now because he's going up against Druid, who is, he's known as one of the greatest laners in the world, so I really want to see how Mixi matches up against him.
Yeah, definitely. Well, statistically, Mixi actually puts up some pretty impressive numbers.
Yeah, Mixi constantly, playing to the top of his game, leading his team to victory. Sometimes his teammates, they just have to go even, and Mixi can carry the game himself.
Yeah, Mixi, he's one of these players that we know that he's always going to come out with a stand-up performance. So we see the man, the myth, the legend, Mixi right there. Of course, lane, sometimes dipping down into the jungle if he needs to, but pretty much just the laner for this team. And, I think he can play pretty much anything he wants. So I'm quite curious to see what kind of composition comes out of Team Solo Mid here today.
Yeah, it's another one of the strengths of Team Solo Mid. Their diverse hero pool. They can play literally anything in, and they swap up the lane and jungler very frequently, which means that your opponents can never know what they're going to bring out next.
I like that. Little surprise factor there.
Oh, yeah.
All right, well, across the aisle, all right, let's talk about Invincible Armada for a little bit. Now, this team, just taking first place in VIPO, Mango, Wine, these guys, you can't stop this team.
Yeah, and of course, Druid rounding out that roster. And this team, they have played the same style for quite a while. So some teams might be able to break down their strategy, but it still continues to work. Even though teams know what they're going to do, what can you do to counter it?
I don't know. I went and got a breakfast burrito this morning, and it had posted up on the wall, it's mango season. And I was just thinking about Mango's dominating performance yesterday, and it was just like this guy on point. With Druid as well, getting up to 14 CS a minute at times, it's just incredibly hard to stop.
Oh, yeah. It's one of the great things about Invincible Armada, too, because they know exactly what strategy they're going to play. They're going to make sure Druid gets out of the game. He's going to get a ton of farm. He will carry.
Yeah, he definitely will. So, player to watch this game?
Ooh, it's got to be Druid. You can't really argue that. Druid up against Mixi in that lane is really going to be the thing to watch out for this matchup because whichever laner comes out ahead will probably control the case of the game.
Dang, that's pretty much a focal point for us here in the game. Going to be pretty easy for the cameraman, but rotations up to lane or rotations away from lane, what do you think is more important there?
Ooh, I imagine the laner that gets more control in the lane will be able to rotate into the jungle to assist their jungle duo
Yeah.
a little bit more. And I think that will determine how this game goes because Meek and Flash, very, very powerful in jungle, and Mango with Wine, both sides are incredibly powerful. So
And delicious.
Yeah. Okay, fine. You win this one.
Sorry, Zeke. We're having fun here, and I can see the players are ready to hop into draft here. They're hanging out in the lobby, so we'll get this draft going very quickly and hop into the first game in this best-of-3 series. And man, we're going to find out very shortly who is going to be first place here at the Samsung Galaxy Vainglory Invitational.
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting to watch. I want to see what they decide to go with for the draft because there's so many options out on the field. Celeste, Saw, Adagio. There's so many different heroes that both these teams are so good at.
Yeah, well, I think TSM starting off with the pretty smart ban. Flash is going to go ahead and remove that Vox out of the pool.
Yeah, the Vox is definitely a signature pick for him in Smart Mod. Druid playing it so many times in VIPL, and we might see an Adagio ban coming out from Smart Mod, which is a very powerful pick in this 1.18 update.
Yeah, it definitely is. We've seen so much success coming out of this hero, but I really don't think it takes too much away from Team Solo Mid. They can rotate into so many different compositions.
Yeah, it looks like Smart Mod does decide to go with that Adagio ban, which is a solid pickup. And right here, the Finn coming out from TSM, that's not something we see out of them too frequently.
No, not too frequently, but yesterday, and Flash played this, I think, twice in a row, it was a 2-0 win there?
Oh yeah, I mean, he performed very, very well on it, but it's not something we usually see TSM bust out. So
yeah.
I'm very excited to see how this matches up against, just a little bit of technical difficulties in the background. We'll be back in just a moment, but in the meantime, I mean, right here, who do you think is going to take this one?
Oh man, this is tough. I mean, you put me on the spot here, Zeke.
Both sides.
I always put you on the spot. Man, honestly, I have to tap into my psychic powers. I think Team Solo Mid.
Team Solo Mid, you say 2-1?
Yeah, let's go with that.
All right. I mean, I gotta play the other side then, right? Invincible Armada 2.
You don't have to.
I don't have to? Oh,
but
man.
you want to. What does your heart tell you,
What
Zeke?
does my heart tell me? Well, that's... Oh, man. What does my heart tell me? I think TSM's got this 2-1.
TSM's okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's gonna be
You
close.
see how I got you out of that? You didn't.
Yeah.
You didn't have to go the other way.
There you go.
But we're gonna look bad though if the Invincible Armada are able to go ahead and take away this series here. But I wouldn't be surprised at all. This is a phenomenal team, and even if it went 2-0 in reverse, I wouldn't be completely surprised.
Oh, yeah.
I just think that Team Solo Mid are in a really good place right now.
Oh, yeah. I mean, their drafts are always on point. They know exactly what their team strategy is going into the game, and they've always performed very, very well.
Yeah. All right. So, you know, you're a pretty theory crafty player. We had Vox ban, Adagio ban, and a Finn pick. Where do you think we're going from here?
Looks like we have a Lance and a Sky coming out, which is a very solid composition coming out. We've seen it so many times in this 1.18 update, and Lance just blocks so well for Sky. And on the other side, you don't want to be playing a Sky into a Lance because he blocks so much damage coming from the forward direction.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like that hit or miss, right? If you're shooting right at him, it's not going to be too much. If you're able to dance around the backside, you might get more damage done there. It's going to be the Kestrel pickup here. Pretty strong hero as of late.
Yeah, it's the Finn and Kestrel pickup is something we just saw G2 play, and it was absolutely fantastic. Being able to pull people with that Force Cord into the Kestrel active camo trap does so much damage. The stuns for days is just absolutely impressive.
All right, and they're highlighted on a Celeste right now, so a bit of an interesting composition coming out. And right now we're going to probably figure out what's going to be the lane for Druid.
Yeah, I mean, he's already playing Sky.
Okay, yeah, that's what it's going to be. All right, well, Kroll, the last pick here. Solid composition coming out from both teams, and high damage output potential. They have the tanky front laner, they've got the damage, but yeah.
I mean, both sides, they have very, very powerful compositions. Coming out from TSM, they do have the triple stun composition, which is going to work out extremely well against that Kroll because the Finn, the Quibble, Celeste, Core Collapse, and the Kestrel, the active camo trap, if Kroll gets too close, he's going to, unless he has like a reflex block and his team has some Crucibles to back him up, he's going to have a very, very tough time.
Yeah, I mean, the potential for wombo combos are immense there, and could be absolutely devastating if they're able to land those. But you know, they're pretty hard to land.
They are pretty tricky to land, but I mean, they're all skill shots at this point. The active camo, not so much, but you gotta really bring your opponents into it, which can be very, very tricky because if they see you cast it, they're gonna know exactly where it is and just dodge right around. Yeah,
definitely. And one of the things, though, when you're playing with Lance, right, when you're playing with a Finn, kind of these slow-moving, tanky bruiser roamers, they're hard to keep up with the fight, right? So you're gonna have Sky dancing around the fight, jumping forward. You're gonna have Kroll chasing down targets. You know, hopefully not getting kited too hard. But a lot of times you can just leave your roamer in the dust, and then you get put into a vulnerable position.
Oh yeah, it could be very, very difficult for you. But honestly, on that Finn, I imagine TSM will play around it extremely well because they have had so much practice on it, and they are able to just, as a team, TSM, they are just very, very solid.
Yeah, they are. Well, across the aisle, I mean, IA is as well, you know, winning international competitions as well. So we'll see. Only time will tell. But to call all of this action, we have Forecourt Jester and Action Jackson himself. Take it away, guys.
Thank you very much, Humanist. We're here at the grand finals of the Samsung Galaxy Vainglory Invitational, and this is going to be an awesome series between Team Solo Mid and Invincible Armada. We heard TSM as a prediction from our analysts.
Yep.
Personally, I'm leaning more towards Invincible Armada.
Ooh,
what do you
traitorous. No, I have the faith in the TSM boys, but with this comp, I'm not entirely too sure they have this game locked up.
You think? Okay, so what about the composition is causing some issues for you there?
Well, I mean, before we jump into the fold for all this, and trust me, I'll have lots to say about this, I want to give a chance to give away a little bit of ice to our viewers because they are the real MVP when it comes out to this stuff. So guys out there, Galaxy S7 in the Twitch chat right now, 3 more packs of 500 ice by the end of this series, and one of you guys will go home a winner, even if it's not TSM.
Well, in any case, if you're on Twitter instead of Twitch, you can also do the hashtag VaingloryE3 in order to win maybe a hoodie and some ice on that as well. But it is the beginning of our final series, guys. Team Solo Mid, Invincible Armada. It's going to be an awesome game.
All right, so might be a little bit of a tussle here down at the item shop. Flash is making good time there with Cole, and Cole does actually go into the weapon Kestrel. No surprise, Crystal out of this one. Mikshi's rotating down too, though.
Druid is already doing a lot of damage on the Flash. You can see the forward barrage stops TSM from really committing to a fight.
Right.
I like the fact that Mikshi came down so early, though. They know how aggressive Invincible Armada likes to be early on.
He also picks himself up another crystal bit there, but Druid is doing what he loves to do in lane. He has that weapon blade just to start things off, and that goes a long way for your last hit ability. And Druid, not really going to be dropping any of those last hits anytime soon. So, in the draft, TSM did ban Vox, very smart. We saw some fantastic crystals.
Druid, he's in a bad position. Mikshi with the heroic perk, picking up first blood for TSM in the finals of the tournament.
Yeah, just sliver of health by the end of it. Really nice pickup there, and getting that first blood, that's going to keep the momentum going. But still, when it comes down to it, banning out the Vox and taking the Celeste, we don't see a lot of Celeste on the North American side of things. So I'm really kind of curious, up against a Sky, one of those big mobile late game carries, which we saw so much success with in NA and EU and arguably everywhere else. I'm not entirely too sure the late game mobility will work.
Yeah, I mean, I think we saw a little Celeste in NA because, of course, that championships was played on patch 1.17.
Correct.
Now that you've got something like the Lance or, Finn has risen back to popularity, you can defend it much more easily. That said, Invincible Armada, they're running this Kroll, they're running this Lance, both things that are great at diving onto a backline. They're a very solid, tanky frontline with a lot of crowd control. It'll be hard to get away from that as Flash gets dove on in the lane. Quibble coming out. Druid with the forward barrage is able to do the damage, though. Invincible Armada, they're going to even up the kill score 1-1.
And that it's sort of like that idea that I'm just worried about. Lance and Crow is a front line for Druid. If you can't get past them, you can't get to Druid. And Druid is going to be using the forward barrages, the Surrey Strikes, dancing around. And Celeste has no built-in escape mechanisms. Neither does Flash. So, I mean, by the end game, I'm concerned for our NA boys.
I really think it's all going to be about the side of TSM trying to stick together as much as possible and support one another in the fights rather than trying to navigate around them because they just don't have enough mobility, like you were saying. Maybe picking up a Frostburn on Mikshi could be good in this game, just to slow down the front line a little bit.
Yeah, get that utility going. Now, you can see in the webcam here, that's actually Druid playing on his Galaxy X7 Edge, which is his personal choice, believe it or not, with a stylus.
Mango is trying to go 1 versus 2 right now. He has built up a lot of weakness stacks on the Kolamika. Smite is going to pick up the kill. Invincible Armada, they've done pretty darn good in this early game.
Mango yesterday just absolutely mangled the competition with that Kroll. I mean, did you remember that game up against G2, that second round where they just lived out of their jungle? It was absolutely disgusting.
It really was, and they're trying to do something similar here, but Druid is who I really want to be talking about. He's doing such a great job of keeping up in the farm and lane, sitting at almost 10 a minute at this point. And in addition to that, he's actually doing a lot of damage whenever he finds these fights. Wine trying to stop this invade, gets one of the camps, but now Mikshi and Flash want to turn around onto him. You see Druid making his way down. Forward barrage melting through Flash X. He is not going to be able to get out of this one, and Wine already starting to make the pursuit into Mikshi. If he can just find that impale, he does. Forward barrage will secure the kill. Invincible Armada leading 4-1 right now, and Cole, he's been spotted out. Mango coming in from the flank could be in position to keep this fight going. Cold Meek has no way out. It's going to be 3 kills in a row for Invincible Armada. They're really out of the gates rolling pretty hard here.
Yeah, Cole the Meek was just a little bit more like past the mustard. They became a sandwich there between Invincible Armada's two carries. And Mango, again, is just going off to the side. He's looking to just live out of this jungle. And with as much armor as he has, the only person that could really take him down is Mixi. And they're not going to get the chance.
Yeah, and Invincible Armada grouping up as 3 right now. Want to go for the fight. Mixi gets annihilated. Flash trying to close the distance to the home field, to his turrets. But it's not going to be there as the smite comes down from Mango
Cole
from
the
Hell's
Heart.
Heart. Could be landing. Cole the Meek is able to dodge out of that one. So it's not going to be the ace for Invincible Armada, but they do control the jungle right now.
That's level 5 now for Druid. It's level 6 here for Mango. We aren't really up to those same levels here from TSM now that they've dropped 7 kills in 5 minutes. This is the early game has basically just been shot down, and Invincible Armada, once more, just living out of the jungle. They are picking up so much cash and farm, and with 2,000 gold accrued in 5 minutes, I mean, the start is absolutely fantastic for Invincible Armada.
It really is. What does TSM do to stop the bleeding right now? Do they just need to stop fighting, maybe concede the farm in the jungle, focus on the lane, try and get some ganks? There's a lot of ways they could do things. Right?
Playing the long con game of just turtling up, taking as much farm as you can without being adventurous is raw. It sucks, but that's what I think is going to have to happen here, because you're going to need to start building up some of those items. Without him, you're just not going
Druid,
to do it.
he was 1 versus 3 for a long time and still did so much damage. A great death from above, starting that fight off. Now Mango from the flank, coming on to Cole the Meek. It's going to be a quick pickup for Invincible Armada as they find 1 kill and get 2 members of TSM extremely low. They could go for a push here.
Well, as I said, I mean, you can't be adventurous. You push out, you get flanked. You don't have the items to go toe-to-toe.
Mango, he's trying to go onto the back line yet again. Quibble coming down onto Wine, but does absolutely nothing. Good core collapse, though. 1 shot, 1 kill from the base. Mango is getting chunked out a great deal. He just barely lives. The turret shot, not enough to kill him. As the From Hell's Heart comes across,
Baited.
Mixi jumped on by Druid. It's 10 kills to 1. 10 kills in 6 minutes for Invincible Armada.
Invincible Armada saw that coming. It's like if Celeste goes forward, they're looking for the kill on Mango, throws out the Hell's Heart, takes him down before the effect wears off. There's no more one-shots to grab him, and Mango's just going to walk away out of this one. Like, all that armor, he's able to tank out the turrets, he's able to tank out basically any kind of auto attack at this point, and the only person that can bring him down is Mixi, and Mixi is sitting at 1 and 3.
Look at this as well. Druid just picked up a Broken Myth, so he's starting to hit those power spikes now. At this
6
point,
minutes.
I feel like his damage is going to be way too much for TSM to deal with. They need to do what you said. They need to play things a bit slower.
And, I mean, yes, that's the worst option available when you're a player, as a spectator, everything. But you have to do it.
Mixi, he is in a bad position right now. Druid even coming in from the flank. There's no way Mixi's getting away from this one. At this point, TSM, they've not been able to stop the bleeding. They're bleeding out.
And unfortunately, with 1 turret down and continuous invades on top of their jungle, their cash flow has basically just come to a stop. We're now looking at something about 4,500 after this gold mine. Can't actually tell how full it is, but it's fairly up there. 7 minutes in, it's pretty close. It should be an immense, and it's going to go uncontested. It is immense, and the double snipes, it just grazes one.
I like the idea there from TSM, coordinating those global skill shots, but they just didn't quite have the timing or the vision to get that gold miner. Now Mango thinking about going in for the fight here. Does get stunned up by the active camo. He's got to back away. Actually quite a good amount of damage coming out of Mixi, but from Hell's Heart, gonna land on Cole the Meek, chained into the Impale. Where's Druid? He's taking his time getting to this fight. That was a good engagement that just wasn't followed up by IA.
And that's 70 seconds now down for that stun here from Mango. Not that I really think he needs it. They are going to continue going to these backs. They got it on. They got that timer down on lockdown. Cole's going to try to pick him up.
Wine's looking for a little bit more here as Cole the Meek gets stunned up by that Impale. Githian wall beautifully into the tree. So Mango finds the smite. You actually saw Flash pop the fountain at the last second there. It wasn't enough.
Druid even coming in.
Yeah, he's starting to make his way in here. They want Flash. Another smite would do it if Mango can get it off cooldown.
Is Mango getting it?
Oh, he waited! He waited until all the stacks were gone.
And now they're just juggling this out. Wine will be able to juggle that out. Mango's going to live. Yes, he had the fountain, no problem. Druid now is just going to go back to farming. 76 CS to the 55 as Mixi is just getting shut down. And it's like Draft just did not give me confidence here from TSM. Banning out Vox was great, but taking Celeste and not out taking Sky first pick was, I think, a mistake.
Right, well, Druid's found Mixi yet again here. We're seeing that Celeste versus Sky matchup that you were talking about. Mixi just can't deal with the mobility of Druid. It's very hard to land those heliogenesis. Mango is very low on the flip side of the map. You can see that there was a fight between the other members of the two teams, but he is going to be able to recall away there. So Cole the Meek, Flash X, they couldn't even find the kill in that situation.
Now, during that invade, we did actually pick up those backs from TSM, so a little bit of cash now, and of course, now that we've shunted off Mango, he's not going to be there to kind of contest, but Druid is continuously pushing in and in. He's even going to use Death from Above to continue farming, and at this point, if he gets that Eve, or that, yeah, he's probably going to be an Eve next. Like, that's 2 items by 10 by 11 minutes. That's ridiculous pacing.
It really is, and this is something Druid is well known for, but we could have another fight here as Cold Meat tries to get some poke damage down. He does succeed in chunking out Mango just a little bit. Mango chunks are quite delicious. I can appreciate why he wanted to do that.
You and Humanist.
When they make it so easy for me, how can I deny myself the opportunity?
Mangoes and wines, yeah. So I don't know how a Druid fits into that one, but still 13-1. The game is in their pocket at this point. 4,000 gold. It's their game to lose. Any mistake could bring TSM back into it, but Mango's flanks are on point.
Yeah, he's not looking to make a mistake right now as he tries to go for the
Blocked!
initiation. Blocks the active camo. Mixi stunned up by From Hell's Heart. Polite Company is going to give him a brief reprieve, but it's not enough as Invincible Armada take another free kill. They are 14-1, still at 10 minutes, exceeding that 1 kill per minute. Flash can't find the hook there, so
I'm not sure you want to hook Mango anyways.
You probably don't, to be honest. I mean, he is in a bad position right now. They're taking quite a lot of damage. Quibble does chunk him out again, but the turret falling so quickly and Coldemik so low on energy, they can't really turn around here.
600 damage with those Spectrals being cashed in. That's another turret, another safety net of Team Solomid now just down the drain. And 5,000 gold. They continue to just live out of their opponent's jungle. And, I mean, they can really do anything right now. They do got that Eve there for Jerd. He's ready to go. He's double item with even more crystal bits. Mango is just having the time of his life. 4-0-7, really living up to the invincible part of the Armada. And Wine, again, like this front line for Druid is just uncrackable, and that means no pressure on top of Druid.
We've just had a few more power spikes hit by Invincible Armada as well. They've got Shiver Steel on Mango now, Warhorn on Wine. Those 2 items by themselves increase your stickiness, but if you get them together, it becomes very difficult to get away from you. So TSM, they need to be very careful with their positioning. They need to establish some vision control or at least some defensive flares occasionally on the map. It's hard for them to find the position to do so, though.
Yeah, a flare or 2 maybe, but you know, Flash X is not known for those scout traps.
No, he is not. This game is no exception. Not really picking up too many of those. Mango actually going for the weapon infusion. Interesting pickup at 11.5.
That was a miss. That was a one-shot, one miss right there. Not even anywhere close to the gold mine, but I mean, slow and steady wins the race. Another immense gold payout over to Invincible Armada, and if I had to guess, they're probably going to just continue to bottle up Team Solomid, take another gold mine, crack it.
Mango, he's looking for Coldemik right now. Cole didn't actually use his stun field, and the pull brings them into the fight. Mixi gets annihilated as well, and the Flash, the last man standing for TSM. It's going to be very hard for him to get away here. He does have the speed up and manages to make it back to the fountain. Even still, turret the next target probably for Invincible Armada. They've certainly got the damage to take it down.
Yeah, they got to get through that shield. There's no minions there, so they're not.
They let Mango tank for too long.
Well, they also had to juggle it out. They didn't really have too much of a choice, so just continue to bottle in TSM. Wait for the 15-minute mark. Kraken, it's a seal deal right then and there. And I got to say, I mean, my MVP right now is just incredibly Mango. Like, he's just making plays left, right, and center. He jumps Cole, they get the kill immediately as soon as he dies. Out came the Hell's Heart on top of Mixi. It's a 1-2 combo punch, but you don't see kind of like that confidence. All right, as soon as he's dead, we're tossing it. He just immediately, no hesitation, threw it out.
The big challenge for a Kroll in this matchup is getting around things like the active Camo Mist, getting around core collapses. He's baited it twice. He's been really playing around it very well, and now he's found Coldemik yet again. Is he going to reflex block it? Look at it. He waited for it perfectly. This guy is a god. Coldemik stunned into the wall. He's going to be going down to a massive smite as Flash X just barely is able to escape the forward barrage of Druid. Druid not committing for the kill. He realizes it's gotten away from him, but still, 17 kills to 1. IA, they don't mind giving up a kill like that.
Mixi's pushing lane. That's what he's doing.
He run, Mixi.
Run the other way, buddy. You gotta get back. Yeah, it looks like he'll be fine. In fact, actually, if he takes these backs, that will be pretty worth. Because he was able to push up the lane. He got some good farm. He's able to push up the lane. Now he's taking too long.
Mango sees him. Yeah, I mean, Mixi probably should have just taken the safe option and recalled there. Even with the core collapse landing onto Mango, you can see he's just not doing damage because Mango is actually too fast for where he's putting those. So this is an incredible performance by Invincible Armada. TSM, they got to be sweating right now.
Sweating, well, they should be drenched by now. 18-1. That's 19 kills in 13 minutes, and we're almost looking at 10,000 gold between the teams. Now, again, Kraken, 15-minute mark, I think is going to be the thing to open it up unless Flash just goes down right here.
He's doing so much damage with the forward barrage right now. Finds Flash. Coldemik gets hit by the forward from Hell's Heart, actually, and taken down there.
Maybe, actually, I'm revising. I don't think you need Kraken anymore. I think,
yeah,
I think this could be it right here.
Mixi,
That's ace.
Look at
that's
Druid's
ace.
damage.
No, that's game.
He's got got a Shatter Glass now as well. I feel like Invincible Armada should be able to push off of this, maybe even for the win.
Yeah,
We've got 5
100%.
seconds on Flash, 6 on Cold Meek. They are going to split some of their focus between the two turrets, but here come the first respawns. Can TSM defend? It's going to be very difficult. Mango is quite low on the energy, quite low on the health as well, but with Wine on the front line, he's doing a great job of just interrupting the engage. And Druid nearly picking up Cole right away. Mixi, he can't position around this fight. One shot, one kill lands on the Druid, but it does not do the damage needed.
They're styling.
They are actually going back and forth off the fountain. They're healing up again. Wine needs to be careful as the Solar Storm chunks him out.
Whoops.
He fails the wall. He fails to jump over the wall. Wine will be the second kill in nearly 15 minutes that TSM have been able to pick up. But Invincible Armada, they're sitting at over 20 now.
Invincible Armada was styling there. They could have absolutely 100% taken Crystal one game. They didn't. They wanted to dance a little bit. They wanted to have a victory skirmish. All right, so they get rebuffed out of it. I just can't see Solo Mid really come back out of this one, especially if Druid 1v3s right here.
He might be able to, given the damage he has, quickly picking up Cold Meek, even through the stun. The Quibble is going to find another,
Goes
but
Mango.
now Mango is here from the flank. Mixi
Mixi
gets wrecked. Druid looking for the triple kill, finds Flash. That's an ace for Invincible Armada. They're going to be taking home game 1 of the series.
I tossed my pen in frustration. I can't find it now. I mean, that's just the story of the game right here. Invincible Armada, Mango, Crow. That's the guy for me right here. Mango on Crow has just been absolutely exceptional.
Did it yesterday
this
as well,
entire,
right?
Yes,
Yeah.
this entire series, this entire tournament. And now coming back into this 7-0-13, the only invincible one out of this. But Flash X, 0-6. No movement speed, no mobility, just a big target for these guys. Mixi, no mobility, 10 deaths. And then Cole on top of that just continuously caught out with his pants down. And as soon as we saw the possibility of active camo stuns, reflex.
Yeah, the play around those active camo stuns is probably the most impressive thing, and this is something that Invincible Armada do very well. I mean, we saw Quibbles interrupting gauntlets yesterday as well. The mechanics on these guys is absolutely
The
unbelievable.
predictions as well.
Yeah.
You say, okay, well, this is clearly a terrible spot for me. Button, save, no problem. That is a very hard skill to have. Very hard fought, very just kind of, they've been through the gauntlet. They've done a lot of tournaments, and accruing that kind of skill, that's what makes godlike plays.
It really is. So, Humanist, I want to hear from you guys on the analyst desk. That was an incredibly dominant performance from Invincible Armada. Did you expect them to come in so strong?
Well, I mean, we actually predicted that TSM would be taking the series,
Yeah, you
but
did.
I gotta say, Jackson, it's mango season right now.
Oh, yeah. It really is. He did an incredible job. Zeke and Kroll seems to be very effective right now.
Yeah, I gotta say, TSM might have to ban Cruel in the next coming match because you can't really target ban Druid. He has so many other picks that are available to him, but that Cruel from Mango was just absolutely dominant. He was able to get ahead early game, which is not something you normally see on Cruel, and he was able to stay ahead, camping the enemy jungle, making sure that he was always on TSM's side, and this is something we saw from him yesterday, and it was so effective once again.
Yeah, definitely. That's not one hero that you want to have an early snowball type of start in a game. Truly a nightmare to play against, and I'm not jealous of TSM in that game 1 there. My question is, did our hearts lie to us?
No, I think TSM still got this.
They still got
That's the one.
All right, yeah, of course. Well, we're gonna have this best of 3 series. Potentially go to game 3. We'll figure that out right now. But replay available from this last game. Let's see some of these highlights.
All right, we got Druid just, doing work on that Sky over and over. Once again, he just shows exactly how mechanically skilled he is, able to just dodge around almost everything, making sure he reflexes boxes, all the things, and they know exactly where Kolomik is using the active count, which is very, very dangerous for the side of TSM.
Yeah, when you're playing against super high-level players, you can't telegraph that active camo. It's just very easy to deal with, and even when they run through it, the reflex block was there. So these guys just playing to a phenomenal level.
Yeah, I gotta say that one play right there with the front heart from Kroll. I did not expect Druid to be the one going in. I expected Mango to be the one diving, but the team communication is coming out so strong for Invincible Armada.
Yeah, and Druid, once he smells blood, he is all over it. And these guys with the item progression, they snowballed so hard that by the end of this game, they were just burning through the health bars of Team Solo Mid.
Yeah, absolutely dominant performance coming out from Invincible Armada in this first game. But I do expect TSM to bounce back very effectively because TSM is a team that knows how to change up their draft. They know how to change up their play style to adjust for their opponents.
All right. Well, if we could kind of like theorycraft for a second, I mean, how do they switch it up? What would you do if you were on this team, if you could talk to them?
Honestly, I might have to say ban out the Kroll because Mango's so dominant on that Kroll once again, and I really want to see how will the TSM react to something else because Kroll is a very unique hero where if you do fall behind him, he is so hard to deal with. But there are so many other ways that TSM can outplay Invitational Armada.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I mean, Lance as well did a lot of work setting up things for them throughout that fight. So we'll see if they plug something else in. It could have the same effect, maybe not. But I'm sure TSM is going to come in with a new approach in the second game.
Oh, for sure. I definitely expect them to change things up quite a bit for this next match. But right now, what do you think? What do you think TSM is going to go with?
Honestly, I would love to see them go for like something run at you style, double weapon maybe. And honestly, we haven't seen a lot of Ringo, but like something Ringo glaive and pull in like a fortress and just run at them.
Yeah, being able to pull out consistent damage from certain carries is absolutely pivotal against Invitational Armada, who are able to dodge around so many things. And I gotta say, TSM, I think they can pull this off.
I think they definitely can. And we have draft ready right now, so we'll go ahead and hop into this and get the second match underway. TSM their backs are against the wall here, so they have to win to push this into Game 3 to keep their hopes alive. And some players might be feeling pressure, but these guys, they've been on the stage before. I don't think it's a big problem for them.
Yeah, it looks like we're having a little bit of an issue right now. We're gonna hop right back into us. So, I mean, they've been here before. They've been down. They've been losers back in, like, I believe the Winter Championships, and they were still able to bounce back and take it all the way home.
Yeah, sometimes it's even like a little bit of a strat dropping into that loser bracket. You get a couple more matches, learn about the meta, Well, even when I make a misplay, I always say calculated.
Totally worth.
Totally worth. All right, so just 1 second. We'll get these guys back into the draft here and get this match going. But, guys, yeah, we are here live at E3. We're at the Samsung Galaxy stage. If you're attending E3, make sure you get over here and watch these last couple of matches and give us a tweet. Hashtag Vainglory E3, hashtag Samsung Galaxy for a chance to win a hoodie and some ice. And it looks like we are back into this draft, ready to go.
Yeah, so we actually saw one off the board once again, and that is very expected. Here we see the Cruel Band, which is honestly the best choice for TSM because of how dominant Mango is on that Cruel. But this does leave Druid open to that Sky once again, and we saw last game exactly how strong he is on that.
Yeah, he definitely is a great Sky. I feel like, he did so much, but he has so many available heroes that he can play, right?
Yeah, I mean, his Vox and his Sky are both absolutely dominant, and I would like to see which one he decides to go for. It looks like they are going with the Sky, but maybe Mango will pull it out, but I do expect that to be going for the Druid.
Okay, definitely does make sense. And Adagio left in the pool. Adagio will be first pick, as well as the Finn.
Yeah, I mean, the Adagio Finn is a standard combo we've seen time and time again. Like, getting that Force Chord into Adagio's Versus Judgment just does so much damage to the enemy team. Even the Sky cannot escape that.
No, they can't at all. So, I mean, a bit of a buff comp coming out here. I'm going to ask you to predict maybe what do you think they rounded out with?
Honestly, I would not be surprised if they went with something like a Lane Lance, because that is something we have seen, I would like to see from TSM, but it looks like Invitational are going to take that Lance away once again. The Sky Lance, we saw how effective it was last time.
That is so incredibly hard to deal with.
Oh, yeah, I mean, just getting pushed around by Lance, but it's actually a very interesting thing, because unless your teamwork is very much on point, you might actually knock your enemies away from the forward barrage. Yeah,
it definitely is. But if you can anchor, root them in place, hold them there, letting Sky just kind of jump around the fight, you can get so much work done. TSM thinking about what they want as their last pick here. How is it going to round out life on the line?
Yeah, actually, Invitational did take that box for Druid, so that's going to be very interesting to see. But we see the Kestrel coming out for TSM once again, and I do expect them to do quite well this time. The Lance is going to have a pretty hard time catching up with everyone in this matchup. The Finn, Kestrel, and Adagio combo is something to be feared. Yeah, a lot of damage output there. And, well, we have our commentators ready to take all of this away on the stage right now. Action Jackson and Forecourt Jester.
All right, so that was actually quite an interesting draft, I think. I'm surprised that we're seeing both Vox and Sky able to be picked up by Invincible Armada. That seems kind of scary to me.
Well, you're not going to know who exactly is going to be playing that. But don't worry, TSM. The only thing to fear is fear itself. And spiders.
And Druid and Mango.
And Druid and Mango. And for you guys, no fear, we got your back. You can get into an ice giveaway, 500 ice to 3 winners by the end of this series. So right now, just say in the chat, Galaxy S7, one word, all caps, let us know. And then you could go home with some ice.
And for TSM, this is their last chance. If they lose it, they could be out. It's also potentially your last chance to tweet in hashtag VaingloryE3 to win perhaps a hoodie and some ice as well. But guys, Invincible Armada, they're one game up. They're one win away from being the champions of this tournament. Can they do it for court? I feel like they've got the comp for it.
Well, yeah, as you said, it's a little surprising that we did go into the Sky and the Vox, but what we saw from TSM yesterday was very similar kind of situations where it was a double ranged and using Finn in the front. Feels like that's now actually coming out to bite them in the butt a little bit.
Mango, that is so much damage onto Cole. The Meek already Invincible Armada, less than a minute in, pick up the first kill of the game. Flash also taking a lot of damage here, is able to get back to the turret, but Mixie is miles out of position now. We've got Druid coming up also. This could be another kill as the root comes across. 2 kills in 1 minute for Invincible Armada. This is not looking good for TSM.
There's something to note here, Jackson. Flash X, not the roamer.
Interesting. Also not alive for too much longer if he doesn't be careful.
It's going to be
Mango going to be hit by Cole the Meek's Quibble there. Does eat a lot of damage, but I feel like Cole probably doesn't have enough to keep the fight going as Mango is level 2, has Forward Barrage and Surrey Strike to really position around the very immobile Finn. Jumps right into the camp, gives it over to Cole the Meek. Good Quibble over the wall. That was smart by Cole.
Yep, so Cole actually is able to get the farm, but now Wine, oh, they're going to find Flash.
Oh, Flash is not in a good position right now. The heal coming across does not do nearly enough. Cole the Meek might have the damage to actually get the kill, but it's not going to be there as Wine goes for the Githian wall interrupt. Cole the Meek, if you can find the Quibble, it would be good, but it's just not going to happen.
Yep. Now, where's Mixture doing all this? Well, if he came down, he'd find Druid, probably lose out that fight. So we do have that secured escape. But again, Invincible Armada here living in this jungle. The left side, right side, doesn't matter. You can't hide from them in the fold. And now they are going to be taking a little bit of an earlier lead. Druid's going to come back and just pick up all this CS that Mixie is trying to push forward. And that's going to be the end of the TSM aggression, or at least it should be.
This really seems like the defining feature of Invincible Armada to me is just crazy early game aggression. And they know exactly how far they can push it, and they constantly come out miles ahead in these trades. Cole the Meek, he's trying to play this Finn. I think it's an interesting decision swapping them up. I don't know if I like it too much, but admittedly, Mixie's getting some good poke down right now in the lane as Mango comes in from the flank. Look at this Mixie! He gets annihilated. That was disgusting damage. Cole the Meek cannot get stunned up, but the damage could take him down. Indeed, he does die. Druid and Land's doing a lot of work in these early trades.
If there's anything to read from 118, it's that Celeste, who has been a considerable ban this tournament and, of course, back in EU, is just right up there with Sky. Like, these Crystal carriers are absolutely insane, and we've seen so much Sky this week, and it just works, man. Like, I don't think we've seen Sky lose.
I don't think we have either. Actually, I want to talk about Druid for a second. He's got 1,000 gold. What he buys here could kind of determine what path he's going.
Weapon.
He waited a very long time to buy anything, which kind of made it hard for TSM to itemize against.
Well, yeah, I mean, playing a little bit of the mind games, if they're expecting that double crystal, which we've seen a lot of now over the last few days, then they would be building up shield. Cole the Meek, he's going to get shield anyways, but didn't really look like the other teammates.
Wine, he gets a 3-man impale as Mango comes around. Look at the forward barrage damage. Mango's got to be careful. He is focused by all of TSM right now, but they're just choked into that point. All of TSM are going to be going down. It's an ace at under 4 minutes for Invincible Armada. They're 8 kills to 0, 2,000 gold in the lead. This is a ridiculous performance.
Surrey strikes, the forward barrage, the 3-man lance auto attacks. Like, when he hits somebody, he hits everything upon the path of that lance. He was hitting so much damage right there. And of course, Druid, the resonance bounces might not be as deadly, but they're still there. And TSM clustering up like that was probably the worst thing they could have done right there.
I've got to agree. Right now, Wine and Druid, they're trying to take this turret down. They've got 1 more minion to work with here. They might just barely be able to get it. They do indeed. So TSM, they're already down a turret as well. What's the avenue back here? I know I ask you this time and time again. It's a hard question to answer. You got to play safe, right?
You know, I'm always thinking, like, what would Monte Cristo say right here? But, like, Invincible Armada is just flat out invincible.
Mango, look at this. He keeps doing the same flank. Why don't TSM invest in some vision? Mixie, going to be the first target. Mango picks it up. Flash should be able to piece out here, but Cole is going to be going down. This is a ridiculous pace being set by Invincible Armada. They desperately want to win this tournament. The Samsung Galaxy Vainglory Invitational could be over.
Goodbye, Flash.
Oh, he gets stunned up.
Oh, wow.
It was over in a flash.
Well, the return kill from the turret. Turret now is an MVP, but the ward will go over to Flash.
It's not a flawless game from Invincible Armada anymore. They died.
Well, I mean, they've not actually had a flawless game except Game 2 yesterday against G2. But coming into this, I mean, like, Mango, to me, you guys are always talking about Druid the laner, Druid the awesome, Druid, like, just the man. But, no, to me, I'm a Mango fan. I'm a Mango fan now.
I've got to agree. I think Mango's really shown up at this tournament. Maybe
Yeah.
the new patch suits his preferences a little bit better. But when he's playing these very aggressive characters, or when he's playing characters that can position
plays the
onto
game.
very easily, when he plays Vainglory, yeah, pretty much, he just destroys everyone. And this game, he's pretty much solo invading and flanking by himself and making it work every single time.
You just don't see that in really any of the other styles. I can't remember when I saw such like on-point flanks. Like the communication and the game sense of these guys.
Mixi?
Mango's even going to
Oh.
find Mixi. Mixi,
Yeah,
do you realize?
He thought he was back there. He's going to be going down. Another kill going away to Mango. Flash X and
Yes.
Coldemik trying to defend the turret here.
Got to stay in the top side of this lane so that you don't get just kind of run into by this pain train that Korea has really brought down here.
Wow, look at this Mango diving beneath the turret, actually. Really wants that kill. A fountain does come across, but it's not going to keep them alive as Druid keeps the fight moving. He's got that weapon power build, decent 1v1 damage, but he's got to be careful of those turrets.
In fact, Invisible Armada is the only one with a fountain at this point. Like, we're 6 minutes in, we're looking at some of those tier 3 items on the cusp of everything, but Wine has that fountain. We don't have anywhere even close to kind of the same output here from Team Solo Mid. They're down 4,000 gold in 6 minutes.
That is pretty, I mean, that's almost 1,000 gold a minute, which
Yeah,
is something
almost.
you never
Math.
say.
66%.
Yeah.
We'll put it like that. But remember, the only kill was that turret because we went a little bit too deep. So Mixi's going to get a little bit of farm here. Cole on this roaming Finn. I mean, he has the life spring, but he's just...
Frostburn is a cruel pickup from Mango. He's really making it difficult for anyone to get away from him here. He finds Mixi. Look at the forward barrage damage.
So
Mixi is able to
ridiculous.
duke out a little bit, but it's not quite enough as Mango. Got to be careful. Flash trying to take down the kill, but Mango's still able to get away there.
So Wine is going to be the front line, but Mango, yeah, as he said, he gets away. It's absolutely insane. Druid, no, are we baiting Flash? Is this a bait?
Oh, Flash trying to walk into the bush. He
Baited.
gets Githian wall. Mango not going to be going down there. It is, I believe, an ace picked up by Invincible Armada.
Nope.
One shot, one kill. Mango taken quite low, but they are going to be able to get the turret.
It's an ace in every sense except the literal. There's no minions there. There's no health regeneration going on. In fact, Mango's going to have to make an exit out of this one. But, I mean, 700 more gold on his plate. He's going to be able to start up that next item. Very, very likely going to be that Broken Myth ready to go. And Mixi does have the Sorrow Blade, but 0-6-0 and 64 last hits. Druid is just kind of styling all over him.
Yeah, 83 compared to that 64 is a massive difference. But
And they
here
find
we
Mixi.
go. I mean, it's another fight already. Mango trying to get on the Mixi. Look at the Surrey Strike damage, melting him.
Oh, my
Flash
goodness.
already went down. Invincible Armada have 18 kills right now. It's not even 8 minutes.
2 a minute?
Yep. Pretty crazy. More than 2
more
minutes.
than 2 a minute. That's a okay, Kills. All right, Meek. We see what you're doing here, buddy.
I mean, this could be a bit of a problem once they get into the base.
No. Why would they ever go up to the north like that?
Well, no, because they're going to be hunting them down as they try and retreat.
All right,
Watch this,
cool.
Mango. Look at this. Perfect, right? He's jumping on these scout traps.
Yeah,
Flash very low already, though. Mixi as well, trying to bait him onto the scout traps. Wine could be taking a bit of damage here.
So
not gonna
much
be enough,
money.
though. I mean,
so much money.
that was a big investment for a relatively small payout.
Cole needs level 6. He just hit level 6 now. If he had set up that farm and then he anchored them in, sure, I could get it, but he wasn't even level 6 yet. So and he's just buying more. That's all Cole's doing. He's just buying more now. I think he's done with item progression.
He's tired of Flash X never buying scout traps.
Yeah.
So when he plays
he's making
Roamer,
up
he's-
for the
yeah.
average right here.
That makes a lot of sense.
Couldn't drag it all up. My goodness.
Well, I mean, normally around this state in the game, I'd be saying, well, maybe a Kraken for IA. That could
Boom.
secure the game for them. But there's no Kraken for a while now. You know, Invincible Armada, they're just so far ahead, it kind of feels like later. Another immense payout picked up for them.
Well, the first.
What does TSM do here?
They buy scout traps.
That's just cold to make. What does TSM do?
Well, Mixer's down 0-7-0. He pushes up, he gets flanked. Flash, I think, gave up on an alternating current. Looks like he's going to go either for a Shattered Glass or that Broken. But if you push forward, you're done.
Flash, yeah, he's going to be annihilated here so quickly.
It's going to be the
Gets
same
taken out.
advice.
Force the cord. That actually brings them on to Cold Meek, lets him spot him out. He should be going down here as Mango finds a lot of damage with that forward barrage. You see Wine done forward from Kale as well. Only one member left standing for TSM. That's Mixi, who's sitting in the base right now trying to hopefully repel this wave.
He's buying weapon blades. That's all we can really do.
Oh,
at this point.
Druid, he spotted them.
Yeah,
Mixi's in a
goodbye.
very bad.
Oh,
does
good luck.
actually block the impale, so the joke poke coming out from
But
Wine.
it doesn't matter.
Yeah, the turrets, I think to be honest.
they got the
Invincible
stun.
Armada- Oh, yeah, Mixi in a bad position right now.
Look at
Forward barrage
Mango.
doesn't connect, though. And actually, a good stun out of Flash,
No
too.
way this is a 12-minute game.
Yeah, this might be a 12-minute game as Mango jumps forward again. One-shot-one kill does pick up one. Mango going down. TSM, they might be thinking they're starting to come back, but somehow I think Invitational Armada still in a pretty good position.
Styling, man. They're doing the victory dance. They're just literally brawling in the worst positions possible just to see if they can. And if they could, well, that's the highlight, right? You came, you saw, you conquered. But they do die for it, so Wine, he's still not going to let up on that pressure. Takes away that jungle. Is Meek, yeah. Cole the Meek is still going to be doing Scout Trap art.
He has picked up a fountain now, though, so he's not just
But he
buying
has
Scout Traps.
15 Scout Traps.
That is a lot of Scout Traps.
That is a lot of Scout Traps. And all right, so he's going to be busy in the base. We are going to be pushing up. Remember, the advice from game number 1 was slow it down, turtle up. Unfortunately,
This went
TSM
faster
can't
than
hear me,
game one.
obviously.
Yeah,
so they are just going to continue on their aggressive ways. And 20 kills in 10 minutes is not a good average for them.
Look at the gold lead, too. I mean, it's about 10,000 in
just
11
under.
minutes. That's pretty crazy. Cole the Meek trying to make something happen here. He is admittedly fairly tanky. Mango not able to just wreck him like he does other people, but Flash, on the other hand, very squishy. The auto attacks coming in are going to melt him down. Nixie does find the stun onto Druid, but look at this Mango right onto the back line. It's a clean ace picked up from Invincible Armada. They might be able to go into the base and end right now.
I'm really curious if Drew's going to go into double tornado or if he would go into double tornado trigger because he has one with that
That's a
Soro
smiley
blade.
face, right?
Is that with a tongue? Yeah, it's totally 2 eyes and a tongue. Wine just got licked.
Well,
a weird
wine is
thing to
pretty
say.
tasty. Wine is pretty tasty.
Well-
Okay, here comes the minion wave. It's also ace buffed up. I think they might have candied it too. So perhaps they can just take this turret down. Flash
Nobody
very,
had
very low here. He's not going to be able to do anything. Invincible Armada looking to close this game out in record time, under 12 minutes potentially, but they want to get the kills, pad their stats just a little bit as well. Cole also falls. It's another ace for Invincible Armada. 26 kills to 4. They are the winners of the Samsung Galaxy Vainglory Invitational. Incredible play from this team from Korea.
The fastest win, if I had to guess, would have been amongst the first rounds. But no, it's the last game to make it 2-0 as Korea goes undefeated here in our international tournament. So big thanks to Samsung for kind of making this happen. But I feel for TSM.
Yeah, that was a brutal way to lose the series. Humanist, Zekin, your hearts were with them. It didn't quite pan out, though.
Broken-hearted over here right now, Jackson.
So, Humanist, do you
I don't know.
realize it was casters versus analysts, and the analysts were right on the predictions?
Well, no, I didn't realize that.
I don't know what you're talking about.
What are you saying?
I called you guys the casters. Of course, we're the casters.
We didn't
but,
send them
I
enough
like
energy.
that. Freudian slip right there. So,
Either way, my prediction's on point.
Foresight over here wants to be an analyst. That's how that one works.
I told him I was going to make him look good before, so I was going to predict the opposite way, and I told him what to really
You're the
do.
real MVP, brother.
All right, Zekin, you've had my back all day. Invincible Armada, they played incredibly well this game. Do you think they were deserving of that? I think they were.
Oh yeah, they were absolutely wrecking everything in their path. I mean, just look at the scoreline: 26-4, 12 minutes in. Absolutely fantastic play coming out from Invincible Armada, showing exactly why they are such a top team. Mango on that Sky was disgusting. I mean, holy cow.
I mean, we saw the signs. It is Mango season, and this guy was just going off. Druid as well to back him up. And I think, they each died one time, but it was like he had like a 13-2-9 Sky or something. That just everything that he wanted, he did.
Yeah, it was absolutely incredible coming out from the entire team of Invincible Armada. They really showed exactly what they were capable of. They were constantly able to control the map, constantly able to take more vision for themselves, and even in those 1v1 situations, they were always coming out on top.
Yeah, they definitely were. And we actually have a replay available to check out some of those highlights and just see what Invincible Armada was able to accomplish here.
Yeah, just watching Mango, the Sky plays once again. Droth, Druid, and Mango, fantastic Sky players. It's gotta be scary. You have to ban the Cruel, you have to ban the Sky, you have to ban everything against these guys.
It's just devastating amounts of damage coming out. And no matter what, I mean, that was a situation where Mango was just like, okay, my team is coming, but right now it's 3 versus 1. I'm just going to go ahead and start this fight and just jump all over them. Yeah,
I mean, they just go in one after another over and over again. They always come out on top. It's just absolutely incredible to watch.
Yeah, I mean, just fight after fight going IA's way. And TSM, a bit of a composition we weren't really expecting. Cole going on roam here, but he did lay down some fancy scout traps.
Yeah, it looks like we actually have the players on Invincible Armada standing on stage right now with the trophies. So, well, I'm sure we'll hop into that in just a moment. But watching these plays over and over, I gotta say, the Sky works out so well for this team.
Yeah, it definitely did. And Invincible Armada up on stage right now, getting those trophies, and of course, very deservingly so. These guys, look, they're giving the hugs, getting some pictures right there. Congratulations, guys. You know, it was a great competition out of them. They really showed up here. And, of course, they're going to be walking away with some Samsung Galaxy S7s as well. Pretty nice prize.
Yeah, pretty sweet for them. I mean, thank you, Samsung, for, you know, getting all this sponsored and helping us out with this event. It's absolutely great to see it.
Yeah, it definitely is. These guys are hype. I'm sure they'll be, you know, letting their friends know back home just how it all went down if they weren't watching already. And it seemed like these guys just, I didn't even know like what you would do to approach stopping them. But as far as MVP of the series, who are you going to go with?
It's got to be Mango. I mean, just look at him. That Cruel in first game, absolutely dominant. But the Sky in the second game was, once again, he got banned out on the Cruel. Did not even matter. 14, 2, and 10. Really?
No big deal. Are the numbers right here? We can confirm that. No, I know that was 14, 2, and 10. It was just a great job out of these guys, and he just, you know, he took everything, he left nothing. So congratulations to those guys once again.
Yeah, absolutely incredible performance. I gotta say, I'm really looking forward to seeing what happens the next time all these teams match up once again, because there are so many good teams out there right now, and Invincible Armada, they look like they're on the top of their game.
Yeah, they definitely are. Well, I mean, it was a fun couple of days here. You know, day one, we didn't know how it would pan out at all. Things started to shape up, and IA, they hit their stride. They never looked back. And yeah, as you said, I'm really excited to have these guys come together and in another competition, hopefully in the near future.
Yeah, I'm very excited for that. But for now, I mean, taking a look at these two teams, I'm sure there's a lot they can take from this tournament, a lot they can learn about their own play styles, about other regions' play styles, and it's very exciting to see what will each region learn from the others.
Well, hopefully they'll watch those VODs and take some things away right there. Maybe not switching up your roamer into the jungle position in an important game could be a good idea. But yeah, anyway, guys, if you want to win a hoodie, if you want to win some ice, just going to let you know one more time, go ahead and tweet out hashtag Vainglory E3. Drop that hashtag Samsung Galaxy in there as well. And remember that the Samsung Galaxy S7 is the hot new device out with Vulkan technology right now. And I want to go ahead and thank Samsung for having us here at the Samsung stage at E3 one more time. It's been a real pleasure.
Oh, yeah, it's been absolutely fantastic.
All right, guys. Well, I'm sure we're going to have more competition soon in the future, but that's it from here at E3 from us. I'm Humanist. This is Zekent. We'll see you soon.
Hello. All right, everybody. Thank you so much. Again, congratulations to the Invincible Armada here at the Vainglory Invitational. If you guys want more Vainglory,
And then we'll be finishing off, of course, with the grand finals. Team Solo Mid versus Invincible Armada.
Yeah, it should be absolutely fantastic to watch. I'm very much looking forward to all of these, and it's just so exciting to see all these teams come together and play each other for like some of them for the first time.
Yeah, definitely. And as far as how these teams match up against each other, yesterday, correct me if I'm wrong, it was TSM up against Hunters.
Correct.
And that's how it started off. TSM beat Hunters. G2 faced up against IA. IA, pretty strong showing there to move their way into the finals. So, yeah, I mean, it's going to be a good day. Remember, guys, if you have a Twitter, go ahead and tweet at us, #VaingloryE3. Let us know your favorite thing about the game, why you're playing the game, and you have a chance actually to win a Vainglory hoodie and some ice. But, yeah, as far you see your brackets right here is how we said it's going to be playing out. Down at the bottom, you see Hunters versus G2 Kingwin. That's going to be your third place decider match. And, of course, your grand finals, Team Solo Mid versus Invincible Armada. Both of those teams look phenomenal.
Oh yeah, it's going to be a very, very explosive finals, and with the two teams matching up extremely well, all very, very mechanically sound players, it's going to be very interesting to see which team gets ahead in jungle, which team gets ahead in lane, and how they rotate after that.
Yeah, definitely. Well, these teams, they're a lot of different kind of metas that they bring to the table. They're playing different heroes. They have different styles of rotation and whatnot. They're all going to be playing on the Samsung Galaxy S7 phone today, which it's got this Vulcan technology. Apparently 30% better battery life and efficiency coming out of this phone just simply from the technology in it.
Yeah, it's better performance, better battery life, and better control in general. It's just absolutely fantastic for the players.
Yeah, definitely. And these guys are also going to be winning some prizes over here. Looks like, so winners of these community battle royale matches, they're going to be getting these Samsung level wireless headphones. I'm a little jelly. Maybe I'll get in that next community battle royale match and win me some.
Maybe. But I mean, yesterday, yeah, it's absolutely fantastic. And we just to tell you a little bit more about the Samsung stuff, we have a short little video for you from players.
Playing Vainglory professionally, you always want to make sure you're getting the best performance possible. The Vulcan API is definitely a really big deal because you are going to get much better battery life and it's going to have a lot better responsiveness in terms of touch.
지금 이제 그 벌칸이 들어간 갤럭시 7이 확실히 이전 기기와 차별점이 있구나라는 게 체감이 됐습니다.
Battery life on a mobile device for playing a game such as Vainglory is extremely important. You don't want to be in the middle of a game and get a 10% warning, 5% warning. You don't want to have to stop and plug it in.
The battery life is excellent and great. My experience with the Samsung Galaxy S7 is just amazing.
More battery life means more time you can play. That brings more fun.
삼성이 볼컨을 시작하게 되면서 그래픽 면에서 스무트해졌고 게임의 모든적인 면이 다 상향된 것 같아가지고 정말 좋게 생각합니다.
I think the graphics are really good. It's comparable to any PC game at the moment.
Console level graphics coming to mobile devices is a really big deal. It's always important that people like looking at whatever game that they're playing.
Having a S7 with a better graphic, you can feel this game better.
Another really important thing is the responsiveness of the actual touchscreen. In a game where every split second matters, you want to have that crisp, immediate response to your taps.
If you're competing against someone who's of equal skill and talent, if your device performs just a little bit better, you're probably going to end up outplaying them.
I think it is extremely exciting to see big companies like Samsung putting a faith in mobile gaming.
All right, well, there you have it. The pros would know better than anyone, and they've got to test out these devices. They said, response time better. Of course, battery life, a big deal when you're using intensive apps on your phone. So very cool indeed. And guys, right now, we're ready to hop into these community battle royale matches. We're going to go ahead and introduce these players to let you know who's going to be facing off here on the Halcyon Fold. So it looks like for Team A, we're going to be having Seeker, Hardek OP, I don't know if that's right. And Dr. Evil, that's going to be Team A. Over on Team B, we're going to be having Mr. Power Thirst, Wadi X, and Hoboni. So this is going to be a great matchup right here. Pretty hard to predict. Thoughts?
Honestly, both teams are absolutely fantastic. Like all of these guys are just huge streamers, huge players in the community, and it's going to be really interesting to see which team, comes out to better composition, which team plays better with it.
Yeah, definitely. But at the end of the day, I'm gonna have to go with Hardek as far as the team that I think is probably gonna take this.
Yeah, I kind of gotta agree with you. Hardek's pretty OP.
He's pretty OP, man. If he ran as a Koshka, I'm just gonna lose it.
Fair enough.
All right, well, to call all of this action, we have our commentators up on stage right now. Forecourt Jester and Action Jackson. Take it away, guys.
Thank you very much, Humanist. We're excited to get today's games underway here at the Samsung Galaxy Invitational for Vainglory 3. Obviously, we've got some great players in these two Battle Royales. I'm inclined also to lean towards Hardek's team, but in tradition, I know you like to play rock, paper, scissors for this.
Yep,
so.
absolutely. So let's do it. Rock, paper, scissors. Oh, there's
You
a
actually
shift
changed!
in the wins. I'm taking Drizzy's team.
Dude. In
I'm
rehearsals.
taking Team A. Team A is going to win. It is being coached by the fabulous Drizzy. He won yesterday. He went home with headphones, and he's coaching that team. So
In rehearsals,
totally
you stuck to paper.
I know. That was a mind game.
Oh, that is not cool. All right. Well, as I said earlier, yesterday, you're not very honorable when it comes to these battle royales. But we're pretty close to being ready to get.
When you go to war on the fold, whoever wins wins. Doesn't matter how.
All's fair in love and war, huh? Yeah. Okay.
Doesn't
well,
matter
fair
if
enough.
it's an inch or a mile.
Okay. So looking at these two teams, obviously we've got Hardek on one side, a very strong pro player in Vainglory.
Yep.
If we look at the comps here, we've got Mr. Powerthirst playing Kestrel, Blackfeather Haboni, and Waddy X is on Jewel.
All right, Lance, Ringo, and Sky is going to be played up by Dr. Evil, Seeker. Hardek actually gets that Sky. That's a little bit worrisome there. But worrisome for you since I took the team. I sniped it right out of you. That's a Lance. That's a Sky combo. So Lance very likely to be going into the tank on the side here of Seeker, Hardek, and Dr. Evil. And yeah, he does pick up actually a little bit of armor across the board. On Team A, though, double weapon. I'm not entirely too sure I would have went double, especially with Waddy playing on Jewel.
Yeah, actually, we've seen a lot of weapon power Jewel in the battle royales that we've had so far during E3. I like that Haboni's going for the crystal.
They're going no tank. That's so Habani's going to be the crystal Blackfeather. They are just all in. If they can all in and get a kill, then they're going to try to leverage 2v3 situations. But the big question is, can they get past Dr. Evil?
Yeah, I think it's going to be difficult, but at the same time, Haboni with on point is going to be creating constant huge shields with that crystal power build. So maybe he can kind of tank out just from that.
Look at Dr. Evil. 3 light armors on top of that. Hardegg actually goes 1-1 with the shield and the armor, and Seeker also has one as well. So they are turtling up. They are saying, all right, we can weather this storm. There's no fountains available. Nobody's even started a life spring. But we do actually have the banner for Dr. Evil. So I think that will do him just a bit better than kind of the no-tank situation here for Team A.
Hardek is getting chunked out so much by the poke out of Mr. Powerthirst and Waddy. Haboni doing a good job with his on points as well. It's quite difficult for him to get the poke down that he would like to with the forward brush.
Yeah, neither side is really kind of committing to some of these early fights. We saw action right off the bat yesterday, Jackson. And this time they're a bit more measured in their advances.
They're playing it a lot more safe than we saw yesterday. Yesterday we saw one game where oh, hang on a second. That's going to be the stun out of Waddy X. Seeker in a very bad position. Waddy's got to be careful, though. Hardek finds 2 kills. Mr. Powerthirst has not got the energy to keep this one going. It's a 2-for-1 trade. Hardek's team.
Oh, nice route. Dr. Evil has been leveraging the double auto attack range of Lance. I mean, that's a gigantic pole arm he's feeling, arguably Lance. So he has been leveraging that. He has been poking fairly hard, and when Waddy commits with that jump, with that rocket jump, he commits. Like, you're going to have to get a little bit of armor, I feel, on that. But Waddy, he's saying no, he's just going to go straight offense.
Yeah, I feel like Dr. Evil survives for that. Of course, not a crystal, not a crystal power build, so it doesn't matter so much if you use it for a bit of poke.
Now, Mr. Powerthirst, despite the fact that he is running low on the energy.
Oh, Hardek, 1-shot, 1 kill coming across. Actually lands on the Seeker, though. They're going to try and back away here. Hellfire, blue turning things onto Waddy and Haboni. Good damage there, actually, given the Seeker is just like the down to the base hand. Pretty good, right? Dr. Evil always trying to go back into this great combat roll to get out of there. Waddy stunned. Dr. Evil could actually live through this. Hardek trying to get onto the back line. He can't find Haboni, though. But Dr. Evil jumps for it. Impale picks up a kill. Actually, no. He missed because Seeker already found it, so he gets stunned up under the turret, taken down. Not a terrible trade for the blue team, to be honest.
But that should have been an ace. Like, hands down. Hardek not getting any of that cleanup right there is going to be a big thorn in the side.
He's getting stunned up. Haboni's jumping right in there. The potion could be enough here to at least get Waddy to trade for the kill.
There you go.
Haboni, though, doing a good job of staying very healthy through that fight.
Bonnie has about 2,000 gold or so. He does have that Broken Myth. And the Broken Myth, as long as he can stay to the target, so stacks and stacks are just going to do very well for him. But at this point, there's no point in suiciding. He does not really have like a huge amount of gold to go back to. He tries to push, but he gets a great poke on Hardek.
Yeah, actually the on-point missed there. If it had landed out in the big, great one-shot, 1 kill though from Mr. Powerthirst. Hardek got to be careful. Does find 1, so it's a trade so far. Dr. Evil tries to hunt down Mr. Powerthirst.
Not going to happen.
Doesn't have really enough damage to make this kill happen. that.
No, he's full tank. I mean, not only has he now used up that
Whoa,
footprint,
never mind. That's quite a lot of damage from Bill.
yeah, but he has the Pauldron, he has that fountain, he has a little bit of extra shield on top of that as well. Well, it's life steal on the fountain, but he will be getting that soon. Hobani does get an aftershock to go with that Blackbird. You don't see that often.
Dr. Evil rather doing a great job of jumping and getting the face down. That's kind of setting up a position where Power Thirst is struggling to farm and Seeker can kind of play with the wave.
Farm, yeah, 38 minions in 4 minutes farm. It is a really big hidden kind of source of income. A lot of people just really focus on some of the heroes, but if you get those last hits and then you die, I mean, it adds up. 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 extra gold by the end of the game.
All right, well, Dr. Evil doing a good job of leading the charge here, but he's getting
Oh,
down. Oh, that
that's gonna
Hellfire
burn.
Brew was disgusting. Haboni trying to get the shield from on point. That does keep him alive for the
Hardek
time
goes
being,
deep.
but Wadi finds the sun on the Hardek. Great one-shot, one kill too. Hardek should be going down here, but
got
he's
him.
going to pick up the kill. That is the ace for the red team, and Hardek somehow able to
Seeker's
get
down.
away. Seeker, unluckily, is not, though.
There's the fountain coming out from Lance. Could have really used it right there. Hardek, though, does have some ace buff minions pushing in. And it will be that turret right there. And this will put us up about, 3,000 gold? Yeah, 3,000 gold or so. Hardek still, however, cannot suicide if he does want to do it. He does have 1,800 gold into it. Is he actually going to go? No, he's going to just weather the storm.
Yeah, I mean, I think with 2,000 and the items that he has in the bank already, it's not that important that he goes for the suicide yet when he could get a bit more damage down onto the turret. In addition to that, it would have been a very close timing, and for example, if Mr. Power Thirst used one shot, one kill from base, might have been able to steal the credit for the kill.
Maybe. Yeah, Mr. Power Thirst is actually really impressed me. 5 kills total on his side of those 7, but it's the stun combos. He's actually been landing some very vital rocket jumps into stuns, and the weapon, you know, it's the thunder strikes have actually been doing very well for him.
Yeah, Wadi's got quite a lot of damage right now with that Tsar Blade, but here comes the engage. Dr. Evil tries to get the hook down onto Haboni. He gets melted. No chance to go into stealth there. Hardek sitting on the front line doing a good amount of work with that death from above. Mr. Power Thirst should be able to get away with the active camo. But Dr. Evil, he actually wants to keep this fight going. Trying to combat roll in there. Got to be careful as the turret is doing a lot of damage to him right now. They're going to kill it in time, though.
Yeah, but they do actually use a fountain on that as well. So going deep, looking for the kill, a little bit greedy. They still might be able to get him.
It's going to be a good impale from Dr. Evil. There's no follow-up, though. I mean, Seeker's just going to the turret.
And one turret and a half. So right now it is the sole defensive power. And again, he's running real low on energy. Hardek is going to go deep.
This time,
he's looking to trade out. Yeah, he's looking to trade out.
You know how I feel about this one, but he does have 4,500 gold that he can
This
spend
one,
now.
he died to a hero.
Yeah, but he
Is just
suicided
everything
it.
dishonorable to you?
If you die intentionally, that's dishonorable. That's what that was.
And this is why you don't win.
I don't mind not winning if I'm honest. That's the point. Okay, so let's have a look at the items across the board here. Wadi's now picked up that Bone Saw, which is going to be great for dealing with Dr. Evil.
Yep,
but I feel like Seeker's build is a bit more appropriate here for just killing other people, right?
Tornado Trigger, if he gets into that Tyrant's Monocle right there.
Whoa, that is a big crit though, Mr. Power Thirst. Could be looking at that one-shot, one kill. Isn't going to find it as Dr. Evil blocks it. Wadi trying to dive the turret as well. Seeker is going to go down. Great Thunder Strike out of Wadi. He's going to try and get away from this turret. Oh, very, very close. Dr. Evil needs that hail to come back up soon. He wants to really get that kill, but he can't close the distance.
Yeah, Dr. Evil is just kind of freezing the lane, biding his time. Here comes Hardek. Wadi's just not going to be part of this fight, but if he gets the stun.
Hardek, he's not landing any of that forward barrage. Got to be careful here. Death from above coming across does stun up Wadi, but Haboni doing a lot of damage. Dr. Evil should be going down here as well, and blue team gets a return ace. It's 11 kills to 11.
A little bit too deep right there, but we do have a few 600 crits, Mr. Power Thirst. He is for sure. But 11 kills each, and now going a little bit too deep, and that ace. This will be a few turrets for sure. And, well, this one, it's just not going to last. Like, between Haboni and Power Thirst, it's just going to melt. And, well, it's already out.
Those crits are ridiculous.
600 crits are no joke, that is for sure. That Tyrant's Monocle doing work. Haboni trying to come in.
Yeah, they're trying to combo that out with one shot, one kill.
Oh,
Seeker knew what was going on. Look at the damage he's able to do back onto Haboni. It's going to mean this Power Thirst is alone right now. Wadi just respawning, but very far from the action.
Seeker has the trinity of the red right now. He has the Sword Blade into Tornado Trigger now with a Tyrant's Monocle on top of it, so he's attacking fast. He is critting a lot, and he has a lot of base weapon damage under that now. So Castro, no chance at really doing anything offensive, is now going to have to be on the defensive, but by the time that red gets all the way over there, I don't think they're going to be able to capitalize.
Look at Haboni's build. He's got 2 piercing items plus the broken myth.
No, he's just trying to go right through everything. Yeah, and that's what he needs. I mean, we do have some pretty significant armor. The bigger thing is, though, nobody really has shield. The only person with shield is Dr. Evil with that fountain.
Yeah, it's kind of surprising that he's going for so much Pierce as a result. That's kind of why I was bringing it up. But you
Basically
can see
true damage now.
Red team starting to move forward here. They only have 2 more turrets to deal with, but it's very hard to push both at the same time.
Dr. Evil's that Aftershock as well, so those roots are going to hit hard.
Waddy just infused up though, and look at how much damage Dr. Evil is taking. One shot, one kill, not going to land on the hard.
Nice
He
touch.
just gets out of there. Power Thirst is going to go down. Huge AoE damage out of Seeker and Hardek. They find some kills. Waddy, the big red button with weapon power, not doing enough. It's an ace for the red team, and given their position on the map, this is going to be game.
They popped him up, and he landed real hard. And that's, again, that Aftershock, Dr. Even that auto attack distance with Lance was just doing a lot of poke for the team. Past that, Ringo, the setup, very nice. And Hardek, he went deep a lot. 4 deaths for his team, but he ended up with 9 kills on top of it. 108 minions, and that is going to be it for our first Battle Royale, sir.
Yeah, actually, I feel like Hardek was playing it just right because he was basically distracting away from Seeker, who was doing the real bulk of the damage. With that build that Seeker has, he was chunking through everyone.
No, so, I mean, Habani with the Crystal, again, I'm going to criticize it. There's no tank on the team. Dr. Evil was able to just kind of tank up. He negated a lot of damage. He had a Shiver Steel, the Aftershock by the end of it with the Fountain, and that was able to keep not only Hardek, but Seeker alive majority of the time because Dr. Evil was just always there in the front, and that's how you want to play Lance.
Absolutely, and when Waddy, for example, jumped in, when Haboni jumped in, Lance was great at dealing with that front line with things like the Githian wall. You know, I feel like that performance was very solid, but obviously we've got a Game 2 coming up, and with the heroes being random, it could go the other way.
Yeah, and another big note is that we gave actually all of our Battle Royale streamers here those new Galaxy Samsung S7s, and they're on stands. They're little magnetic stands. It looks really, really good up there, just watching them play.
I like
from
those
this angle.
stands a lot. I have a stand for my device back
I don't
home,
have
but
a
it kind of
stand
gets
like
in the
that.
way. So yeah, those are really cool.
I would totally look into that if I were you guys. But Humanist, I got to say, first one down, it's Drizzy's team all the way. We'll get you soon there, sir. Don't worry about that.
Yeah, he's coming up. All right, so we were talking earlier about the Samsung Galaxy S7.
I'm just going to give him a nod.
Yeah.
There
I'm
we
here.
go. Yeah,
I'm here
he's
now.
there.
Sorry, guys. I was in my own Battle Royale match during that.
You lost in your own world,
finished.
man.
Yeah, we won. Don't worry about it. Feels good, man.
Yep.
Four card.
Drizzy's team represent.
Yeah, we're
Jam
doing it.
fam.
Jackson, I got to know, how are you feeling about this?
You know, I'm not feeling as great as I was hoping to be feeling. I'd like to finally win one of these.
One
It would
day,
be
man.
nice. But, Zekin, you were on my side, right?
I actually chose Hardek's team, so not really. All right.
No one
Rip.
backs me up.
Team
No one
Four
backs
Court,
me up.
Team Drizzy, we got this.
Yeah, one of the interesting things is actually, like, you were mentioning those stands. They're actually chargers. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's awesome. Like, it's a magnetic stand. It's a charger as well, so pretty cool device right there.
Yeah, very fantastic. I'm really looking forward to seeing what these teams get next because they played admirably the first game. The second game is going to be absolutely fantastic.
Definitely. And, Hardek, he was not holding back there at all. It was just like full ham sandwich all the way. He, like, every single time, he was just diving in. But that's the way I like to see Battle Royales play.
Yeah, I mean, the fantastic thing I saw was that one time where Joel is channeling her big red button, and he was just like, I'm sorry, strike behind you and kill you.
Yeah, it doesn't matter at all. The big red buttons, the one-shot one kills, you can just, Suri Striker on those pretty easily indeed. And just want to remind you guys, so these guys are playing for the Samsung level wireless headphones right here. So winners will be getting these at the end of the match. Pretty cool deal. And I'm a little jealous. I already said that, but, whatever. maybe we can squeeze some out of them later, huh?
Maybe, they got a few extras. I can take one.
All right, guys. Well, we got our players getting ready for this next match. I think they should be ready to go right now. And so without further ado, right back to the gentleman on the stage, the Samsung Galaxy stage right here. Four-court Jester, Action Jackson.
All right, let's jump into this next game. Really looking forward to see if I can actually come out ahead with a prediction this time.
I did not predict that camera angle. My heart was no good there, guys. But always a fun time, and we're having a lot of fun here. Guys are playing. We got some streamers. They're winning stuff. You can win stuff too. Type right now into the Twitch chat. Galaxy S7. 3 winners going to go home with 500 ice by the end of this series. But right before we get into that third place match where the pros take the stage.
Yeah, and if you're on Twitter and you want to win some stuff as well, you can do hashtag VaingloryE3 for a chance to win a hoodie and some ice as well. You can double up your chances if you do both. That would be my decision, to be honest.
I mean, why not? You guys are going to have some fun. We're going to have some fun. And Battle Royales, Drizzy Jam, I got you, buddy. It's going to be a 2-0. And Jackson here, the dishonorable, never winning, probably the worst teammate in the world, Jackson.
Thank you. That was a great title. I appreciate that.
I'm never playing Battle Royale with you if you just do not accept these concepts.
It's just you got to play the right way, man. The right way morally.
The right way is the winning way because victors write the history.
All right, well, let's have a look at who could be the victors in this next game. We've got Hardek, Dr. Evil, and Seeker on the blue team, Fortress, Vox, and Lance for their heroes.
Hobani, Wadi X, Mr. Power Thirst, they're picking up that Ozo. Humanist is doing a little dance in his chair, but another Jewel, and Taka, come on. Crystal Taka, do it up right here, buddy. You can even go Crystal with the Ozo, just go for pure, just go triple Crystal. Like, just have the one-shot comp. I think they could do that.
You know, it's funny, Wadi actually got Jewel both games in a row, so I think he's hacking. He's hacking. Yeah.
These new Galaxy S7s, he's just having a ball with them, I'll tell you that. Secret Hardek, Dr. Evil, though, I am seeing a tank here with our Lance once more. That's 2 Lances in a row for Team Drizzy.
Yeah, he's doing a good job with it as well. Dr. Evil making some serious plays on that last game. Maybe they can have it again. So look at this, Hardek jumping in, finding some nice poke on Mr. Power Thirst and Taka.
Yeah, and Taka, he's gonna be the kind of the big pin cushion here, because every time he jumps in, that's
Mr.
exactly the
Power Thirst getting obliterated as the jumps come across. Hardek wants to keep this fight going as Boney tries to acro bounce out of there. He is going to make it to the turret. Wadi keeping the fight going, trying to find Dr. Evil. He does get one. Hardek diving very deep here, doesn't even get Hobani. Seeker needs one more attack. The bleed could be enough. It's still going. Oh, he's going to be able to regenerate up there with a potion. So actually 2 kills going the way of the red team. I'm kind of surprised given the comp they're running. It's all melee. It's hard to get kills early on.
Well, it is, but Hobani was the big focus right there, and if you notice, he actually built up a lot of armor. He also has that medium shield, that kinetic shield. So not only did he actually kind of just double down, he couldn't kill him because of it.
Oh, we might have another fight here, though. Bonnie's starting to get focused a little bit, trying to acro bounce back yet again. That's one of the good things about Ozo. Even though you're melee in Battle Royale, you do have some options for getting out of tough situations.
Now, Taka, again, like, if he's going to be the one to lead the charge, he's going to be the big pin cushion. He's going to have to go into that Aftershock. Probably from there, very likely we see a lot of Broken Myths with these guys. Now, Taka's really more of a 2-shot, and Broken Myths have like a nice sweet spot at 5. So I personally go into Shatterglass, but very likely you're going to see that Broken Myth.
Yeah, the thing is, he wants a little bit of Pierce to go into tankiness. If someone like Seeker's Bonnie goes in yet again, trying to acro bounce around here. Seeker jumps on the back line. Wadi doing a good amount of damage. Wait for it. Doing so much on Hobani and Wadi. Big red button, Hardek. He's got to get out of that one. This could be a bad situation. The turret's still doing a nice amount of damage. Bangarang coming through from Hobani. Wadi's very low, though. Hobani, too. That's going to be 2 kills for the blue team as Mr. Power Thirst tries to clean up. X-Red 2 getting the first one. Calkin just to buy a bit more time. Try and back away here. Minimize the damage of that fight.
Now, Mr. Power Thirst will survive, so it's not going to be an ace, but Dr. Evil with that Crystal Box. We saw Druid on it yesterday. It's absolutely sick when you get into these big skirmishes, and that's all this is. It's just going to be giant skirmishes, so the resonance bounces are going to be insane by the end of the game.
Yeah, I mean, I really think there's no denying that Crystal Vox is probably the better build in these Battle
100%.
Royales. You have so many opportunities to get the AoE down that you want to, and as you said, we saw it utilized to great effect in an important professional game. It's going to be good enough here.
Now, Seeker's actually getting fairly high up on the cash. He's about to hit that 4,000 mark. Hasn't died yet. He's doing a great job protecting his team.
Yeah, but that's going to be a Gideon will actually knocking Hobani during the acro bounce, so he's still able to get out of there. Seeker taking so much damage. Mr. Power Thirst is just going to be on the front line, buying some time for his team to get the damage down. That's how a lot of these fights are probably going to go. Just back out.
Hobani!
Oh, Hobani trying to jump 3 times on a Seeker. That's a lot of damage across every member of the blue team, but a great Githian wall stalls out the fight. The stall wall, like I like to call it.
The stall wall, yeah. Hobani is going to be the target, but Seeker is just getting
Wadi jumping on the back line. Dr. Evil solo. One more hit would do it. That's going to be Mr. Power Thirst jumping on the back line with the X-Red 2. Hobani, he's still on the front line here, trying to get more damage down, but surely the turret can take him out before he can find Hardek. They're just going in there. Mr. Power Thirst needs to back away from the turret, too. It's not going to be an ace for either team, but it was nearly an ace for both. 5
kills apiece and 100 gold between, and now Lance has actually spent out. Fountain and Crucible coming into this one, so that's going to be a little bit of extra shield. We'll have to see if... I mean, the other big thing would be the stun, I guess. Like, Wadi X, when he rocket leaps in, if you do got that Crucible right there, it's not going to be that CC you're looking for. And, well, Hardek did survive through it. A lot of armor across the board. Dr. Evil comes back with double heavy prisms.
All right, Mr. Power Thirst starting to get some good damage as well here with now that Aftershock. You can see when he goes in and gets the burst down, he chunks Hardek down to about half. Wadi just going to be using that ultimate to clear the wave, but he misplaced it a little bit further down, would have been better. I like Dr. Evil's build, though. That's going to be a lot of damage early on here. Gideon wall only lands on Hobani, and Arthur's still able to get some good damage down, but here comes the turn. Wadi, he gets obliterated by that impale. Power Thirst quickly following. Hobani, he's slowed up. I don't know if he can make his way out of this one. Acro bounce, trying to get the distance is not enough. A clean ace picked up for the blue team.
And blue team is going to get this turret, no problem. With those ace buff minions, they're probably even going to be able to steamroll to the next one. We got 11 seconds until Wadi's coming back, and I'm just not entirely too sure. A lot of armor across the board, but the focus just just isn't there. Every time Hobani and Mr. Powerthirst go in, they don't really seem to be landing the damage they'd be expecting. And that's because we have so much anti-crystal here on the side of A, because when Hobani goes in, he is a little bit more that crystal Ozo, you notice. And that is, well, it's a proc build, Taka. It's not the crystal Taka. Why is nobody running crystal Taka here, Jackson?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not entirely sure. I feel like this is good if you want to do the hit-and-run style of gameplay using Kaku to buy time between engagements. But Hobani, he wants to start a fight here. Bangarang lands onto Hardek. That is admittedly a very big amount of damage. Wait for it lands onto all three, though. Look at the AoE coming out from Dr. Evil. Wadi very low. Seeker should be able to find this kill. He does, just with a basic attack from Mr. Powerthirst. Tries on the flip side to kill Dr. Evil. This doesn't have enough damage yet, though. When the procs aren't up, he's really not doing it. Mr. Powerthirst got a Kai-10 out of here. Kaku should buy some time, and Secret does not land that impale. That gives time for Mr. Powerthirst to go back in. Hobani able to zone Dr. Evil out of the fight, make it very difficult for him to get in position to deal the damage to Mr. Powerthirst as the Acro Bounce comes back in. Hobani doesn't have enough to finish the kill, but he has zoned Dr. Evil away from his farm.
Now that Hobani has actually come into a little bit of that
look
crystal.
at that Acro Bounce!
Yeah.
That was a beautiful play out of Hobani picking up the kill.
He's playing it well. He is playing this well. Yeah.
Humanist over there is enjoying himself, that's for sure.
All right, Hardek's coming back into this one. If it is going to be another banger ring on top of him, well, he's probably going to be a little bit better off. He does have some proc crystal too. He throws out the wolves.
Yeah, he's got to be careful here though, because Hardek doing a lot of damage with the crystal build. Hobani very, very low, around 300 health, having to back away. The first turret for the blue team could be falling here, though. We've got 3 members pushing in. Fountain actually from Seeker just to keep Hardek healthy. They want to go for a fight. Nice from Seeker on the Powerthirst.
All right, we actually have. We have four aftershocks.
Yeah, Hobani, he's very low right now, but he might be able to get away here. Hardek's not in position. Dr. Evil's still very far back from the fight. Does have to wait for it, though. Could snipe someone out. Hobani, first to fall as Seeker jumps forward. He tries to get the background. Can't find it. Wadi in the middle of things. He knows he can't get away. He's going to be going down as well. 2 kills to 1. Very nice fight for the blue team.
Here's the fun thing about Takas. It's really ridiculously hard sometimes to actually pick out that A. So Mr. Powerthirst is now going to be on defense, but with 20 seconds and an advancing team, I can't see that this choke point turret is actually going to live right through it. So 2,000 gold, so an advantage here for the Jersey Jam, but it's still anybody's game at this point. Like, there's just so much burst in the gate going on.
There really is. This Powerthirst with no energy.
All the wolves on Powerthirst. All 3 wolves on Powerthirst.
To be honest, when you're going this crystal build, I can kind of understand it. You're doing a lot of bleed damage to Mr. Powerthirst. Bangarang does land on the Hardek. He nearly pushes him back into the fountain, but not quite. Hardek going very deep here. He wants Mr. Powerthirst, but he does not find it. Seeker and Dr. Evil, they're 2 versus 3. Probably going to have to back away here. Wadi wants to keep the fight going, though. Look for that rocket leap. Doesn't land on the Seeker, so he's not going to find that stun. Hobani, does he have Bangarang? Not for the next 20 seconds. It looks like the blue team should be able to disengage here.
Yeah, but as long as they clean up the creeps and they march right down, Red actually has a good chance of return taking the choke turret because the timing is just good here. Hardek is still down for 12 seconds. We got a lot. The only weapon build here is Wadi. Wadi's the only one. Everybody else is either proc or crystal. We have so many broken myths and alternating current there for Dr. Evil and 4 aftershocks, as I said before.
The weapon build not doing quite as well as last game. Gone with Dr. Evil getting jumped on. This could be a good fight. Look at the AoE.
Silence.
Oh, that was an amazing wait for it coming out of Dr. Evil. Now Hardek starting to hunt down Hobani. That's a lot of damage. Wadi, last man standing for the red team is Seeker. Speeds forward. He's looking for that gifting wall. Doesn't find it, but Wadi doesn't have a way out. Great impale coming across.
That's game.
Another ace. That's probably game for the blue team. Very well played in this series.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, at the beginning, having the Lance, again, like Lance, I think really just comes together very nicely in Battle Royale comps. He's a great tank. You can pick him up a little bit of proc, just like what we did here, but you start off with tankiness, the rolls, the roots, it sets up very nicely. He is a very strong hero in this matchup. EU taught us that, but I think on Battle Royale, he's just vainglorious.
Yeah, I really think that Lance in Battle Royale is kind of insane, also because of the fact that you have a lot of available places to land stuns with Githian Wall. Like, there's a lot of terrain which you can play with, so it gives you a lot of options. And also Impale, you're constantly playing in a choke point.
All right, so guys, our Battle Royale players, it is going to be once more the winning team of Foresight Jester in combination with the sneaky stylings of the Jersey fam. So, sorry, Jackson, you got wrecked.
You know, I did predict Hardek.
I know, but I didn't let you keep it.
You didn't let me own it.
Boom. Yeah.
Drizzy, he's giving you that dab.
Yeah, we're We're pretty close on that one. So not only that, we had some good times. They get themselves those headphones, but they did play all these games on the new Galaxy S7 Edge and those magnetic charger stands.
Those are seriously cool.
Those are pretty hype. I actually really do like the look. And, if you have that kind of functionality, I mean, you never have to recharge your battery again for streams.
Absolutely. So that was the first Battle Royale series, but of course later on we're going to be having some professional games from the Samsung Invitational, which is going to be absolutely awesome. First up, it's that third place decider.
And that's coming up next, I believe.
I believe so. Yeah, it's going to be Hunters up against G2, two incredible teams. I'm looking forward to hearing what Humanist and Z can have to tell us about that.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm a little sad over here. I did predict that Hardik and Dr. Evil and Seeker would be winning that match, but it feels bad, man, to see Ozo go down like that.
Yeah, I was definitely expecting them to. I was hoping they would take it to a third game, but seeing Ozo in that matchup, he was having a pretty rough time. I mean, the other side, Hardik's team just built so much defense against them.
Yeah, definitely. Well, just pro tip, when you're low on life, don't use the acro bounce, three-ring circus in there, and it will help you survive just a little bit. I'm trying to bring Ozo back. You know what I'm saying?
Bringing Ozo back?
I have faith.
He's bringing Ozo back.
All right, guys. Well, remember, if you are on Twitter, go ahead and tweet at us, #VaingloryE3. Let us know about how you enjoy the game. Chance to win some ice, win a hoodie, and, of course, just let everyone know how you're enjoying the game.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, it's really exciting to watch all these players play just on the stage, and it's great to be able to see all of them come together, have some fun. Even in the off hours, it's absolutely great.
Yeah, definitely. It's one of my favorite things about Vainglory. It's like instant gaming party wherever you go.
I know. It's like, pull out a phone, you're good.
There you go. Hotel lobby, we got a LAN party, no big deal. All right, guys. Well, as our casters did mention before, we're going to have G2 coming up against Hunters in our third place decider match, and that's going to be coming up very shortly. Before that, we're going to take a quick break, so don't go anywhere, and we'll be right back. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Samsung Galaxy Vainglory Invitational. I'm Humanist. I'm joined alongside Zekent. We're live here at the Samsung stage at E3. And man, this competition has been pretty good over the last couple of days. Now, I mean, we started off with the Community Battle Royale match, just a little bit of fun. We have now G2 and Hunters getting ready to go here.
Yeah, two absolutely fantastic teams, G2 and Hunters. I think these two teams match up extremely well against each other. Both of them very cerebral, able to rotate around the map very, very effectively. And it's really going to be interesting to see which jungle comes out on top, which laner comes out on top, and how they play around it.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I mentioned it before, but I love the fact that these regions come together. We get to see these metas just explode up against each other, and it's sure to be exciting matches. So get your copy pastas and your kappas ready, guys. But before that, we're going to have a real quick video where we're going to break down Lyra a little bit. So that's going to be really fun, and we get to check her out right now.
Yeah, Lyra is absolutely fantastic. I'm very much looking forward to her. Her first ability allows her to put a little bit of a ward on the ground, and any allies who walk near it will be healed. Oh, and enemies who go close to it will take a little bit of damage. In addition, she can detonate it early to do a little bit more of a burst damage or a burst heal.
Yeah, I mean, I really haven't got to study her kit as much as I would have liked to, but from what I've heard, she really controls the area, and I think she's going to add a whole lot to competitive team play.
Yeah, and of course we have portals, which is always fun.
Oh, dude, portals are OP. That's just too much fun right there. And correct me if I'm wrong, but it's both allies and enemies that can travel through that portal?
Yeah, allies can actually go through it instantly. However, enemies do have to take a little bit more time before they can travel through them. And of course, her basic attacks, just absolutely fantastic. It actually messes with your starter step game a little bit, because if you starter step too quickly, you won't fire that second shot. But if you wait just a little bit longer, you will fire a second slowing missile.
Oh, definitely, indeed. My goodness gracious, I love new heroes. One of my favorite things, you know, when a new hero gets added into the game.
Yeah, I mean, it's super exciting because she will shake up the meta quite a bit, especially with how much zone control she does have. With the ability to just transport heroes across the map or across certain distances, it'll be very exciting to watch.
Yeah, definitely. Well, we won't have any Lyra in today's competition, but we, of course, are going to have G2 versus Hunters kicking things off very shortly. So let's talk about these teams a little bit, let everybody know who they're watching, okay? We're going to start with G2. Right now, we're going to have Dingo, Dark Potato, and Majestic as the roster for this team. We've seen them compete in many competitions before. One of the best teams in Europe, in the world. And right now, you know, yesterday a little bit of a shaky start, but I'm sure they're going to come back strong here.
Yeah, I'm sure they're going to come out swinging. And of course, Dingo is our player to watch. He is absolutely fantastic. And it's going to be really interesting to see how well he does perform on the stage today.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of times you're getting your junglers, your laners as those players to watch, as your MVPs. But Dingo, this guy, just consistent play, always doing the right movements, always making those right calls. His item progression, it's on point, and just a very consistent and high-level player.
Yeah, of course, his Arden is absolutely phenomenal. He lands those gauntlets with pinpoint accuracy, and when he does get those multi-man stuns, it's so fun to watch.
Yeah, it definitely is, and I love when he plays Fortress, you know, because Dingo, you know, and the Fortress, the theme, it's all there, right?
I never thought about that, actually. That's pretty good.
That's what I always say, like a wild Dingo appears, you know, when he comes through the bushes there. All right, well, across the board, Hunters.
We got Hunters, we got Devil X, we got Queen, we got Wands, absolutely fantastic players. It's going to be very interesting to see how these two teams match up, because Hunters, a team that rotates very well together. They're always on the same page, and you can see they very rarely fight one-on-one skirmish in the jungle or even 2v2s. They're always a three-man squad.
Yeah, and it's very interesting, you know, that kind of hive mind mentality. It's oftentimes it will work in your benefit. It can also go against you, sometimes losing experience, losing out on gold if you make those rotations and it doesn't pay out.
Yeah, if you do kind of out-rotate yourself, it can hurt, but I mean, they have consistently performed on the stage, and of course, Wands will be our player to watch because he very consistently chooses very off-meta heroes, and it's very fun to watch.
Yeah, definitely, indeed. You know, once yesterday he was playing phenomenally, and I would say he's our player to watch today for Hunters.
Yeah, I mean, coming out, generally he plays mages, which does kind of make sense with his name. I mean, wands, mages, goes hand in hand.
It doesn't make any sense to me. No, I'm just kidding.
Okay.
No, of course it makes sense right there. Wands, the mage player right there. So, yeah, of course, we'll see what he can accomplish today if they draft up that kind of style of heroes that they've been going with. And looks like, you know, I'm getting word we have draft ready to go right now. So we'll go ahead and see how these guys are going to go ahead and play this out.
Yeah, I'm very excited to see how this draft does go. So let's kick it into the match. And, I mean, looking at both of these teams, we saw some Saw bands come out yesterday. We saw some Celeste bands. I'm expecting to see something very similar.
Yeah, I mean, coming up against G2, I think it would be a pretty smart choice to go ahead and ban out that Saw. But, you know, we know Majestic can fall back on a lot of different things. He can fall back on that Kestrel, on that Sky. He can play that Adagio in lane also very well. Across the board, you know, I know a little less about Hunters, so, yeah, we'll see what they do.
Yeah, looks like we are hopping in draft very, very shortly. So let's see. What will these teams ban? Will it be a Saw? Will it be a Celeste? Will it be something different?
Yeah, well, Hunter's leading off with the first ban here. Going to go ahead and set the tempo. Are they going to respect this Saw that we've heard so much about, seen a lot?
Yep, there we go. There we go. And on the other side, I'm pretty sure, I mean, G2, the Wanted Celeste is very much on point, so I would not be surprised to see a ban coming out for there. And right now, we do have G2, they are winning. Dingo still deciding what they want to ban. And my guess is the Celeste, but they might go for the dodge, they might go for something else.
All right, well, only about 10 seconds left here before they're going to have to lock that in. I see the conversation happening between the G2 squad over here. They're going to have to make that decision. Dingo, it's a hard decision. What do we do?
Ooh,
No
they actually
ban.
choose no ban. That's an interesting decision right there.
No ban, best ban.
No ban is the best ban. I mean, just coming out with those mind games, trying to mess with their opponents, trying to figure out, you know, what the best opportunity is. I mean, going into the first match, it doesn't matter too much because you're not really sure where your opponents are trying to play.
Yeah.
But the Adagio coming out for Hunters, and the Finn and Lance, so this is going to be quite powerful.
Yeah, I mean, that is tank right there. And we saw Team Secret do a no ban in the Spring Championships, right?
Yeah, it actually turned out very well for them. They did take it all the way home. And right here, we do see they're still deciding. There are so many options for them open on the board. And Hunters actually did not go for the Celeste. They actually went with the Vox and Arden. And the Kestrel rounding it out for G2. This is going to be very exciting.
Oh my goodness gracious. This is going to be tank with some damage on top of it across the board, a little bit more of a balanced composition. One of the things I worry about when you have a Vox rotation-wise, so we're going to have to see how that plays out. But guys, we have the commentators of the year ready to break it down up on stage. Four-court Jester, Action Jackson, take it away, guys.
Thank you very much, Humanist. Excited to get into this third place match between Hunters and G2 here at the Samsung Vainglory Invitational. I'm interested to see the composition that G2 picked. Kind of reminds me of Team Secret with the Lance Lane, maybe?
That's exactly right. Yeah, this is a Team Secret comp because not only did they Finn to win, but they played the Lance in lane. And from there, I mean, Kestrel was kind of the obvious choice to me. Is either got to be Kestrel or Ringo.
Yeah, I think those would be the best two options. Certainly gives you the ability to push pretty fast if they decide to go for that one. And Kestrel can jungle, so maybe that's what we're going to see here. We are kicking off onto the fold here for the first match. And it's going to be interesting to see which one of these teams comes out ahead. Don't forget, guys, if you're watching from home, you can tweet in hashtag VaingloryE3 for your chance to win a hoodie and smice.
And you guys there in Twitch chat, type in right now Galaxy S7 to be entered into the raffle for 500 ice. 3 winners going to be going home at the end of this series with some ice in their pocket.
Dark Potato not only is playing lane again, which is unusual, he's normally the jungler for G2, he's playing Finn lane.
Okay, well, Finn in the lane is, he can be a little bit more unmovable, like an unmovable object. You can't CC him down, come in for a gank.
He's getting stun up here. Dingo doing some good work with that Impale early on. If you land Impale at level 1, then I feel like Lance is a great hero for those early skirmishes. If you miss it, you've got very little you can offer.
So my big question is Dark Potato going to go into like a second tank? Are they just going to be playing around to protect the Kestrel, or are we going to see a bit more Crystal?
I feel like you could go Crystal here and it'd be quite effective because you can just keep using those skills. But here comes the three-man Hunters rotation that they're known for. Devil is going to get impaled there. Dingo actually quite tanky, so he's not taking a lot of damage. It looks like Majestic and Dingo are going to be able to back away safely.
Yeah, there's not going to be any kind of first blood yet, but Dark Potato in lane, he has the Bookie Ulgis, and up against the Adagio or against that Vox, it doesn't really matter because they're both ranged at this point. They're just going to kind of beat him up a bit. So he has a little bit of extra sustain. The fortified health will go a long way. He is gankable, but the big question is earlier on, can they actually chew through the survivability of that Finn? So as long as he stays on his side of the map, or at least he's somewhere close to this mid-range, I don't expect him to have really too many problems.
I think once he gets boots, he's going to be super hard to kill because the thing is you can't actually crowd control him. So when you come up with, for example, the Gauntlet later on, you can't actually use that to secure the kill. You just need to have the damage straight up. Wands might be able to get to that point sometime soon, but Devil X going Crystal Power, which is what it looks like, is going to take a while to ramp up to that point. You see Hunters sticking together as 3, though. Our analysts have mentioned this before. Something they're very well known for doing. Queen could be getting engaged on him. I'm actually kind of surprised we're seeing the fight here. Whoa! Dark Potato with a huge quibble. Majestic, very low. The bounce not going to do enough, though. Dingo is going to be able to tank up all that frontline damage, and Majestic getting away with like 30 health, though.
Now, I'm very curious if Wands has actually tipped his hand here with Devil X a little bit too early. With that Crystal bit on top of Devil X, it very likely is going to be another Crystal Vox, but Hunter Wands, like, if he's not going to go into a weapon Adagio, this is a double Crystal comp, and that's up against the Finn, who you can't CC, has fortified health, it's up against Dingo, and as long as you get shield, like, that's it.
What are these builds that we're seeing? Because Majestic's going Crystal Power also, which isn't particularly normal for a Kestrel nowadays. It's had its time in the limelight, but it's mostly been Weapon Power recently.
No, that is another good point on top of this. So again, like the builds are very different than what we're typically used to when it comes to an international event like this. And big thanks for Samsung to actually make it happen. You know, you do see some big clash of styles, but the Europe team here, G2, they're really playing very different than what we're used to.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't actually describe G2 normally as a very innovative team. They've tended to stick to things that are very strong in the current meta that other people have worked out, and they play them very well. But this game, they're really trying something new.
It's a 4-crystal comp today. We have 4 crystals, 2 roams.
Pretty interesting, actually. Dingo missing that impale. Joke poke coming across. Majestic, whoa, he's got to be careful. What is he doing? Walks right into the Hunters team. He gets obliterated there. First kill on the board for Hunters, evening up the kill score.
Something that you can't really do is feed Devil X at this point. I mean, not only will he stay ahead in terms of the CS, but if you start feeding him some of those kills as well, he's just going to power up. The play that we saw yesterday out of him on this box was absolutely phenomenal. Definitely one of the better highlights of the performances against TSM. But now if you just kind of give into him this early on, it's not going to be a very good mid to late game here for G2.
Look at this lane matchup for a second. You can really see what we saw yesterday from Druid on Invincible Armada happening, where Devil X, he uses the resonance, and if he hits the enemy hero, he can just chunk through them whilst actually creep scoring the wave. So Dark Potato, it's a struggle for him to get into a good position here.
And this is what I was talking about a bit earlier. They're going to keep like just bragging on top of this Finn, but with his sustain, he's not really going to be in too much danger as long as he stays to his side of the lane there.
Okay, so right now Wands and Queen, they've just been kind of power farming for a little while.
Yep.
Wands is getting pretty strong. He's got a heavy prism now, as well as some attack speed. We might see a rotation up to the lane now as Queen, starting to sit here, does actually just go for the defensive play with the Vanguard onto Devil X. Dingo, it's hard for him to find a good engage here. Looks like he wants one, but there's so much damage coming in. Majestic really needs to be careful. One shot, one kill.
Oh, where is that going?
Right off the map. That's not the right direction.
Well, unfortunate there as Majestic gets his compass a little bit frazzled. But Dark Potato, again, like, he's going to take some damage here, but ultimately I'm not expecting any kind of kills from these guys. They are just going to bounce in. Well, that being said.
That was a nice impale out of Dingo, but he's got to be careful. Falling quite low here. You see Wands healing up Devil there, just keeping him barely alive. Actually quite a lot of pressure and poke coming out of Majestic right now.
If you want to talk survivability, though, I mean, we're talking a lot about the Finn, the Lance, but, you know, Arden and Adagio, that's shields and heals. Not only that, but, you know, we're going to have those fountains out there as well, and some pretty low cooldowns. At least on one. So a lot of healing, a lot of shields on both sides, a lot of survivability. It's no surprise we only have 2 kills.
So Dark Potato and Dingo, they're doing a good job of pressuring the lane, but it's worth noting now that Devil X has picked up that first big item. He's got the alternating current. That's going to give him a lot of damage in these next fights.
Yeah, 6 minutes in, or just under it. Yeah, he's really hitting that spike, but Majestic is really not too far off. About 700 or so. He should have it by about the 7-minute mark for his Broken Myth.
Yeah, I mean, Majestic could go for a few different items here, actually. I'm not sure what he's deciding to go
Myth,
for.
Yeah.
Maybe even a Frostburn. That could be interesting. He's got the components for it, but I feel like he does need to go for damage early here to compete.
If he went for a Frostburn, I'd have to seriously bring this into question. It's just not really a comp that you see that you get to use a lot of here. So, I mean, Dingo is trying to keep Finn fairly safe here. Maybe they're just riding on that level 6 anchor engage.
Yeah, Force to Court being available could be massive here. We do have a reflex block on Wands, but he's the only one who has the ability to cancel that out. Everyone else needs to be smartly positioned in order to escape it. We're not going to have Crucible, of course, until much later. You can see Dingo trying to combo with that one shot, one kill, but he misses the impales. Majestic also misses that ability. Majestic having to back away here, might be able to get the stun onto Queen. That's a lot of damage. Another stun coming out of Dingo, but wait for it. Right onto Dark Potato, and Dingo is going to stop this engagement in its tracks.
Yeah, the resonance.
Yeah, they're really keeping Dark Potato quite low here.
Yeah, it is really hard to engage if you are under half, even with that fortified health. We don't have that fountain available. Dingo's already used it, so you don't have that in your back pocket. The one shot actually did hit on top of Wands. It did miss Devil X, but ultimately it wasn't really a game changer right there. And Majestic Shatterglass, so he is going to Shatterglass first. Now he picks up some weapon.
Yeah, he actually had that weapon blade as his first item,
Okay,
so he has had that for a little while. But I think the Shatter Glass is a great choice. That's going to give him so much burst in his rotation of Glimmer Shots. And hopefully, what he's trying to do here is really burst down Wands or Devil X especially very fast.
Dark Potato has one as well.
Yes, yes, he does. So that's going to be a huge amount of upfront damage to get through the squishy characters.
So both sides are going to be probably just going for a little bit more of that shield. You already see that reflex block, as you mentioned, on top of Wands. The fountains for both of our roams there as well. Devil X now just picks up his. A lot of reflex, a lot of shield on both sides is going to be the name of the game because it's for Crystal. The only real weapon is Majestic at this point, and even then he's not building.
Oh, you can see Verse of Judgment there from Wands, just used to clear the wave, I guess, but Queen gets chunked down by the one-shot, one-kill. Wait for it out of Devil X. Trying to make this fight happen. Majestic is quite low, and you can see every time that bounce. Oh, that was an insane hook, though, right into the active camo miss. That's going to be a stun. Another shot coming out of Majestic to snipe down the second kill. Great coordination by G2 there.
And this is something that you touched upon yesterday as well. When you have that Finn and the Kestrel, it's hook into stun. Dingo is right there. He was positioned with the Githyan wall. If they tried to roam back out through the lane, and that's why they tried to make an exit through the jungle. So nice 2 kills right there. And the burst aspect, it is going to be burst. It's just pure burst. They hook, get a kill, and then they try to steamroll 2v3, or 1v3 in this case.
One shot, one kill could be big in this matchup as well, I think. If Majestic lands a big one before a fight starts, that already puts Hunters on the back foot. You can, of course, also use it to snipe someone down, but look at this. Dingo very low as they start the gold mine. Everyone from Hunters is nearby.
Ooh,
Majestic trying to get out of there. He has a fortified health, but it's not enough. Dark Potato shouldn't be able to contest this. The Gauntlet. I'm
the
actually
Gauntlet wouldn't even have done it.
Yeah, I'm surprised he used that there. It would not have got the stun onto a Finn. So immense payout collected by Hunters. They find 2 kills as well. G2 overextending off the back of a good fight.
So here's the downside of having a burst comp with Crystal. Good luck sniping. Okay, the hook goes out. Good luck sniping the gold miner in fast fashion.
Oh, wow. Devil X nearly going down there. Actually, he's wait for it just instinctually, right? He was very afraid of the re-engage.
That was the panic
coming
button
from Dark Potato. But you can see now Queen rotating up. We got all 3 members of Hunters. It's hard for G2 to find that tech.
So even if we get aces like that, it's going to be really hard to rotate down and very quickly snipe out some of these objectives. Kraken, for example, is going to be a very interesting battle based upon these slow kind of sustained damage comps. So big burst is great for these team fights, great for pushing, but it's not going to be so great for jungling.
I love the build that Dark Potato is going for here. This is my favorite Finn build. You go for the Shadow Glass and the Clockwork, and you can just constantly fortify everyone to a pretty high degree, as well as throw out those anchors frequently. Quibble does a lot of damage anyway, and it's also going to be a stun now because it's overdriven, so you have a lot of crowd control too.
Well, 3-3 as we come into the 10-minute mark. Dark Potato still doing an admirable job here in lane. 98 CS to him, and Devil is actually falling behind a little bit. He's only sitting at 88.
Gonna have the engagement here. Majestic very low, has to back away, but Wands is gonna find that verse. It is gonna get the one shot onto him because he's stuck in the animation for quite some time, but Devil wants to keep the fight going. You can see he's trying to bounce damage across. Majestic on the flip side, looking for Queen. Dingo following very, very low. Majestic on the front line, he finds 1 kill. Devil, he's gonna get stunned up by the Quibble, but it's not enough. Dark Potato doesn't have the follow-up. It's an ace for Hunters. They only lose Queen, and they should be able to maybe even take the turret off the back.
Yeah, Queen's going to be definitely okay with this trade. Picking up a turret and the ace, having those minions pushing in there as well. Huge golden fusion now going into the coffers of Hunters. They passed the 20,000 gold mark, so they are going to be sitting very nicely here at about 2,000 or so above their opponents. And Resonance, man, it was all about Devil X right there. He got away, he didn't die, and then he came back in with the Resonance, and the bounces, they all clustered up because they were all trying to get around Finn for the quibbles, the stuns, the combos, and it just absolutely destroyed G2.
I mean, it was close, so Dark Potato, if he'd gotten the Polite Company off right at the end of that fight, and he was in the animation when he died, that could maybe have, I think, picked up the kill on Devil X and kept him alive simultaneously, but he just wasn't quite fast enough off the mark. You can see now Hunters, they're grouping up still, even with this advantage. They're spending a lot of time on their side of the jungle trying to get the vision down, and now they're making their way into the lane just to force G2 to react to their presence here.
I really love how Devil X is actually taking the time to upgrade that reflex block into the Aegis because it is double crystal. He's prioritizing his health.
They're looking for the combo here. They're putting down that active camo mist. They want to hook someone into it.
There's scout traps, though, so they can see it coming.
Yeah, Majestic does get spotted out there. Dingo walking, in fact, right past them, but here comes the Polite Company. Gets them in range of at least a few attacks. One shot, one kill. Is it going to land? Lands on the Devil. 3 people get forced to court. Great quibble out of Dark Potato, but there's no damage follow-up. Majestic was not reloaded with the Glimmer shots. He had to wait before he could unload, and after that time, Hunters had already backed off a little bit. So now, Hunters maybe even in a good position to turn around the fight as Majestic is getting bounced on with that Resonance. Great Gauntlet, stuns Dingo and Majestic. They're in a terrible position. Queen still alive. Dingo should be going down here as well. Dark Potato, it's just him against 3. What can he do here? He's looking for the kill on the Queen, but he just doesn't have the damage. The cooldowns, even with the Clockwork, aren't low enough. Forced to cord for the second time in one fight is going to miss everyone. It looks like Could actually go down here if he's not careful. Devil X trying to finish this one up. Quibble not able to come across in time. It's another ace picked up by Hunter's Queen. Oh, that was very close.
Yeah, the regen kicking in just at the very last moment. It was enough. Another ace is going to come out of Hunters. They expertly juggled the aggro from that turret very nicely. Nobody really taking themselves into that danger zone where Finn might have actually been able to pick up those kills. So Queen will live out of it. Another turret, another ace. And, you know, the combo eventually was there. The three-man anchor was really good. But as you said, there was no glimmer shots. Majestic was using it to try to harass. And there was actually one point where Dingo had the Philippian wall. He pushed them forward. Finn had moved back. I was really expecting an anchor to just kind of pull them out, separate the team into a 2-1 situation, but it didn't happen. And ultimately they got aced.
Yeah, I mean, I think they kind of took too long to pull the trigger on that play from G2, and as a result, Majestic didn't have the cooldown. So the coordination wasn't there, but this time Queen face checks the bush, already very low. Devil gets stunned up. Wait for it, lands across all the members of G2, and Majestic is getting chunked out right now. Fountain coming across from Dingo. That's going to keep them alive for the time being, but now Dingo, the sacrificial lamb for his team, is likely going to be going down here. Oh, that lands on the 3 people! Queen gets burst out. This is the turnaround G2 needed. Wands could be the next target here. The burst coming across, gets a stun onto both members. They're turning around the turnaround. Majestic going down as well. Dark Potato on the run. Devil is going to get stunned up by the Quibble, but Juan's still doing damage on the back line. It's going to be another ace for Hunters. That fight looked so close, so G2 could have picked up the win there.
Oh, he's just sliding around. There's a fun trick you can do to kind of make that happen. But that being said, the turnaround of the turnaround, he was right then and there. I was looking for the verse, and when I actually saw him cast it, I thought maybe he was out of energy, but no, the verse is good. Another ace, another turret, and just like incremental advantages now coming up for Hunters. That's the 3rd ace of the game. They're up 12-5, and now they've expanded the lead up to 5,000, dominating the jungle here. Going to be taking out the minion mine to boot as well. So double crystals on both sides. Definitely the Hunters seems to be coming out a little bit stronger.
Yeah, we've got Kraken spawning in 20 seconds too, so Hunters are in a good position to seal that objective, maybe start pushing for the win. G2, they need to do something to contest this one, but so far the fights just have not been going their way. Even with great force to cords, even with good combos, Majestic getting stunned up by that gauntlet is not a good start. Silence. Devil X, look at the burst he's able to put down with that wait for it. Dark Potato and Dingo now on the retreat. They don't have many turrets to run to here. They have to go all the way into their base. That gives so much pressure on the map from Hunters. They're going to be able to shove up this wave, maybe go back now and take the Kraken.
So yeah, 2 options here. They just try to fight it out, and unfortunately they'd probably just waste a lot of time. 10 seconds till Majestic is up. So the better option is indeed actually to go for this Kraken, because it's going to be that doomsday device, that game-ending scenario. It's only 15-25 in. If they pick this up, we could be looking at a 17-minute win.
Yeah, and Devil X also just infusing up there with the crystal, so he's going to be doing a lot more damage here. Dingo, he wants to try and perform the hero steal here. It's going to be very hard. One shot, one kill blocked by Queen. Dingo cannot find the Kraken. Hunters, now they're turning this one around. Dingo does get the combat roll over the wall, buys some time, but Devil X is hot in pursuit. Nearly going to be able to pick up this kill. Dingo surely is not going to be able to get it out of this one. Wait for it. Used just for a bit of overkill there as well. Now Majestic in a bad position also. Queen might be able to get in here with the blood from blood. Good force to cord from Dark Potato, but Devil just keeps jumping on out of it. It's another pickup for Hunters, and with only Dark Potato left to defend, the Kraken pushing in. I don't see any way for G2 to come back in this game. Hunters pick up the first game of the series. It's a pretty impressive performance, to be honest.
Ace after ace after ace, 4 in a row. They got that Kraken there. It's basically a sealed deal at this point. That hook actually destroyed Majestic. Dark Potato bringing Devils over the wall, basically just put him in a range to take down Majestic. So it was done, and it was just a done deal right then and there. So 6,000 gold up, and Hunters holding 11 kill lead with the Kraken there on top of it. It was a very impressive game from them. Very interesting builds with double crystal on both sides.
Yeah, I cannot wait to hear what our analysts have to say about this one. But before we talk about that, it's important to remember this is a best of 3. So yes. G2, they've got another chance to come back into this one. They had some moments of promise with their composition. They just weren't able to keep that going quickly enough, I think.
4-0-11 for Wands. That much better showing than what we saw yesterday when he went up against TSM. His build is definitely a little bit more questionable, but very solid here today. Devil's X coming in with 11-1-5. I said this at the beginning of the game. You cannot let him run away with it.
Yeah, and this is the Crystal Vox we were talking about yesterday with Invincible Armada. It's something that has kind of seen the light of day again with 1.18. It took a break from the limelight, but now coming back in full force, doing so much damage, not only in sort of the early game trades where you're hitting the wave whilst your opponent laner tries to farm, but also in the late game. If you ever group up for a fight, which, frankly, you do quite frequently, it's going to wipe through everyone.
So it's kind of interesting to see G2 try to take a Team Secret comp and give it its own twist with the double weapon, crystal, double crystal, no weapon, and having that Finn in lane. I mean, like, this brings me back to the days of Shinkaigen.
Yeah, it's actually really interesting, and I think, to be honest, it almost worked, right? That Dark Potato Fin and Land did almost work. It just needs a little bit more refinement, I think. Maybe the build path, although the items were good, the way they were built and in which order they were built could have been a bit more streamlined, I think. It did seem quite potent, though.
It is rather confusing, though, to see kind of Majestic playing that Crystal Kestrel. Definitely with this kind of comp, you want to go for the weapon damage. That way you have just that reliability. The weapon damage scales up. You can get off those active camos a little bit easier. You hit much harder when your abilities are down. So, as I said, a little bit more discouraging here from our side of things. But, you know, game one wrapped up. And, you know, we have our endless here as well. Humanist, like, double Crystal, man. That really confused me a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't exactly sure how that was going to be playing out, but hey, they gave it a whirl. It didn't work out for them, but like Jackson did say, I think there was a lot of promise there.
Oh, absolutely. There was so many ways they could have made it work. I actually think the Crystal on Kestrel could have worked out very nicely if they were able to consistently get the hook into the active camo, because then you can just splash onto everyone with the Glimmer Shots.
It worked once.
Yeah, it did work once early on. Zekin, what did you think about that?
Honestly, I think the team composition coming out from G2 actually could work out pretty well if, as you said, they were able to get the Force Chord into the active camo and get the stuns off consistently. It's very, very difficult, though, against the team composition of Hunters, where Vox is just dancing around everyone, and Adagio is just doing as much damage as he can. And one of the great things about the composition of G2, though, is if you do land that wombo combo, it can definitely just wipe everyone off the board.
Yeah, I mean, wombo combos in general, like when you're going to draft them, they're going to be devastating. That was some next level stuff coming out of G2 right there. I commend them for that. Very fun to watch. And when they did land it, they blew up their opponent, right? But it's so incredibly hard to land that if you miss it, you just leave your team vulnerable until cooldowns are back up.
Right, one of the weaknesses of their composition was that up against that Adagio, who was constantly healing up their allies, it made it very difficult to chunk anyone down.
All right, well, some of those wombo combos maybe we'll get to see in a replay right here. We'll go ahead and break this down and see the ones that landed, the ones that missed.
Yeah, and you see right here, you see G2, they're doing as much damage as they can. The Glimmer Shot's coming out fast and furious. And right there, Majestic trying to do like damage he can. He does almost take someone down, but he does go down himself. And right there, you see, they constantly try to set up these active camo traps, and it works out fairly well some of the time. And one of the difficulties, though, is there's so much mobility on the side of Hunters that just did not work out in the end.
Yeah, and one of the things I know is no alternating current on Juan's Adagio. You know, we see most Adagios going for that. What are your thoughts on that, Zekin?
I think it's actually very good against the composition of G2 because he just wants those gigantic heals. He was able to do, I mean, look at this combo right here. Boom, so much damage coming out. It just was not enough because Devil X just got a little bit too far ahead.
Yeah.
But the goal of Juan's was just to buff up Devil X, make sure he did the damage, and not really worry about himself.
Yeah, I think that was the turnaround of the turnaround, as Jackson called it in his cast there. But yeah, as you guys see at Hunter, is just coming out on top in game one. Of course, this is a best-of-3 series here at the Samsung Galaxy Vainglory Invitational, and so these guys have the opportunity to go ahead and push this into game 3. If G2 can take this game, and I'm sure they're going to have a good draft, also play well, but it can be done.
Yeah, I'm very interested in seeing what they decide to do next.
Yeah, definitely. All right, well, these guys getting ready for draft in the background. I can see all the players are here in the lobby, just having a little bit of communication before they get going. And it looks like we are actually in the draft right now, and it's going to be an Adagio ban right off the bat. A little bit of respect.
Yeah, the Adagio definitely coming out very, very strong for the side of G2, and once again, the Saw ban.
Yeah, well, I mean, they don't want to deal with that. Who wants to deal with the Saw, especially Majestic Saw?
Yeah, Majestic Saw is absolutely fantastic. And you see Dingo comes out with the Lance. He can be played in either a carry or a Roman role.
Yeah, and right back answering with that Vox, and we're going to have a Sky as well, so a high firepower team right here.
Yeah, Sky, Vox, going to do so much damage, but it's going to be very interesting to see what G2 busts out against this, because even though there's a lot of damage coming out from the side of Hunters, G2, they can answer with tank, and they can answer with a lot of gap closers.
I'm just waiting for the Ozo to come out. It's going to be a pedal, though.
A pedal? Interesting choice. All right, looks like we do have a little bit of an issue, so we'll probably hop back into the game in just a moment. But looking at the picks right now, we have the Vox, we have the Sky on the side of Hunters, and the Lance and Pedal coming out from G2. Up against the Sky, Pedal is actually fairly effective because her Munions will block so much of that forward barrage.
Right.
And up against the Vox, the Resonance off the Munions could hurt Pedal quite a bit.
Yeah, that's kind of an interesting thought that we're going to have to see how it plays out. It's going to be a huge deal with positioning in these fights. I'm not 100% sure, but my feeling is that Tsunami ran something like this with the Lance and Pedal combo, and but just having Lance as a front laner and Pedal having the ability to dance around that kind of pivot point in the fight and stay protected, it's a pretty good combo.
Yeah, one of the great things about Pedal is you're going to be able to block so much of the damage coming out from that Sky, and she does so much damage. So if you are able to mitigate any of that, it's actually quite beneficial to your team.
All right, well, we're back here in the draft. These guys are going to go ahead and lock in the same heroes that they had already picked. And we're seeing how these teams want to go ahead and progress. It'll be the last pick here for G2 to go ahead and round out this composition. What's it going to be? What are your thoughts?
Honestly, they can go with quite a few things right here. It looks like they have the Koshka being hovered.
Give me some of that yummy catnip frenzy.
Ooh,
Ozo.
the Ozo is actually a good choice right here.
Ozo.
I'd like to see it. Come on.
Do it. Do it.
I mean, Ozo up against high mobility heroes is actually very effective. It might be the Jewel, though. It looks like they are still trying to decide what they want to go with. And once again, we sorting out a couple issues right here. We'll get it figured out.
Yeah, these guys are just keeping us on the edge of our seat over here, keeping us guessing. So we'll just have to keep theory crafting for a second longer here. But I mean, like regarding these teams, like when you just kind of think about the play style of G2 versus Hunters, I mean, do you think that they stack up against each other equally? Do they have the kind of like that style that one outplays the other? Like, what do you think?
Honestly, I do think they match up very evenly, and we saw in the last match that it was a very close game until Vox kind of steamrolled everyone. But for the most part, G2 they played very methodically. They were able to get themselves a decent lead in the beginning, but they just were not able to hold it.
Yeah, definitely. As you said, it was a little bit back and forth, but once Vox starts scaling, he just becomes that AoE monster, and in those clumped up team fights, just devastating.
Yeah, especially with the Adagio in the last game. Like, Vox plus Adagio, it covers for Vox's weakness. Normally, Crystal Voxy is not able to do that much damage to a single target, but with the Adagio's Agents of Wrath, he does so much. Well, not so much, but he does quite a significant amount.
It feels like so much. It felt like so much.
Yeah, it was definitely hurting the side of G2 quite a bit, especially with the strong front line of the Lance and the Finn. Like, G2 was very tanky. However, they were not able to survive the damage coming out from the side of Hunters. Yeah,
I mean, so your idea is like, as far as if that composition from last game was to work better, like what would you have done? Were there mistakes in positioning, engagements maybe they shouldn't have taken?
Honestly, it just came down to like one of the team fights early on where Hunters was able to take the fight. And G2, they did set up their hooks very well. The force scores coming out were very much on point from Dingo, but it just was not enough. It was very, very close, but just did not quite seal the deal.
Yeah, but I mean, it's like such a satisfying combination to land right there when you get that right into the active camo. So these guys are right back in. It's going to be Rona as the last pick here, and I actually like this.
Yeah, Rona is actually a very solid pick, especially with the pedal. They are able to stick, both Rona and Ozo are heroes that can stick to very mobile heroes very easily. The foe splitter on top of the Into the Fray gives them quite a bit of mobility, and it's going to be very interesting to see how well G2 is able to stick to the side of Hunters, especially with the Vox and Sky, who are extremely mobile. Yeah,
definitely. It's going to be all about that stick. Can they do it? But ready to call all of the action. We have our commentators ready on the Samsung Galaxy stage. Forecourt Jester and Action Jackson. Take it away, guys.
Thank you very much, Humanist. This is an interesting matchup, actually. Obviously, G2, they have their backs against the wall. They need to win this game in order to secure a chance to play a third and maybe get that third-place spot. But look at the composition. Some interesting picks.
Well, Petal, we did see a little bit there at Europe, and the rise of Rona. And Rona, I'm really hoping that's actually be Dark Potato playing on that Rona, but before we get into hopefully the spin to win, you guys can win a little bit here as well. Type right now into the Twitch chat, Galaxy S7, for your chance to win one of 3 500 ice prizes by the end of this series.
And of course, if you're on Twitter instead, you can do hashtag VaingloryE3 for a chance to win not only ice, but also a hoodie. So pretty cool stuff. Let's get this game underway, though. Devil X on that Vox again. We saw how destructive he was in Game 1.
I don't think he's actually played anything except Vox. No, that's a lie. Wands yesterday actually played one of the Voxes. He was playing Celeste, perhaps.
Whoa! Majestic.
Devil X has actually been doing some really, really good work with this Vox, very likely into that crystal. And I don't know why, but G2 is just shattering my hopes and dreams. It's Dark Potato actually on Rome.
That is really strange.
Yeah.
He's played most things this tournament now, aside from his main
He's played
role.
lane and carry and Rome now, but
Dingo! Oh, that forward barrage is doing a lot of damage. You can see the Munion's blocking a little bit of it, though. Queen is going to fall quite low as Hunters do that 3-man rotate they're well known for. Wands trying to keep this forward barrage up, but Dingo should be able to back away this time.
Now, Wands did spectacular last round, and of course, Queen on that Arden seems to be definitely a little bit more of a comfort pick for her. So that 3-man rotation, the Hive Mind, like that is definitely something you're going to be seeing more and more of here for Hunters. This has allowed Majestic, in theory, to get some CS. His numbers haven't exactly exploded, but Rona versus Vox. I'm not really too sure how to call that other than Vox is going to have definitely more of the poke advantage.
Especially as Crystal Power, I think Vox is going to be able to poke him down a great deal. You can see Queen actually trying to come up, maybe go for the gank. Majestic can jump back quite safely with that Enter the Fray ability, though. When Majestic commits for a kill, however, she does have a lot of burst damage, so maybe they can make up for that disadvantage in lane by going for some ganks early on.
But we have such mobility here for Hunters, just like what Zekin said. With that box, he can dance around with Sonic Zoom. We got the Suri Strike. We have, Blood for Bloods and Vanguards and even Gauntlets. Like, everything here is just so mobile. Having Majestic in the thick of things is going to be rather hard, I feel.
I've got to agree with you. Right now, though, Hunters, they're not actually pressuring the edge they made earlier on too much, and G2 does have a marginal gold advantage. Dark Potato could be looking for a little bit more here. That's going to be Dingo actually jumping forward. Great impale onto two members as Juan jumps back
Dingo.
in. He manages to find the kill onto Dingo. Now Dark Potato's 1 versus 2. He's trying to get back up from Majestic. She's rotating down from lane. Queen very low. Majestic might be able to kill this support as he gets back. The turret is so close, but the Vanguard given the shield there. Now Majestic very low. Forward barrage coming across. Doesn't quite find the damage. Devil hunts it down, though, and now Juan's turning back onto Dark Potato. Dark Potato did find Queen, but still, 3 kills for 1. A great fight for Hunters.
Call it an ace in everything except the literal definition of it, but 3-1 there for Hunters. Just such greed coming up from G2, just trying to take out Queen. Like, you're taking out the Arden, guys. I mean, there's probably some better targets out there for you. Devil X just goes right back to farming. He has the potion ready to go. So, another double crystal here from Hunters. It is going to be the alternating current fairly soon for Devil as he finds Dingo.
Yeah, Dingo in a really bad position there. I think Devil X should be able to have the damage, especially with the backup, but
Yeah,
looks
well,
like he's
Devil
going to try
kind of
and
lost the fight.
Yeah, he's playing it safe, actually, trying to back away to
Those
Wands.
Onions, man.
Yeah. Okay, so Dingo just going to be farming up now. Queen might be able to get eyes on him if they do. Hunters could rotate, but so far Devil just wanted to play it quite safe, go back to the lane. He's falling decently far behind at farm.
And so is Majestic a little bit. 20 compared to, well, actually, no, that's a lie. Devil's only at 14. My mistake. I was looking at a different number. Devil is going to be okay. Maybe the Munions are doing a really good job there. But again, it's double crystal here for Hunter. So not only will be the crystal sky, but that alternating current. And, I mean, what is Majestic doing?
Wands wants to come up here and go for a kill. Majestic is quite low, but look at this. This is exactly what Zekin mentioned earlier. The Munions blocking a lot of the forward barrage.
Yep.
Queen could be a new target for Majestic here. Majestic has built up that entire bar of Fury. He's got a lot of execute potential. Dark Potato really taking his time going for a counter engage, but I'm kind of surprised given Devil X's low health bar and energy bar.
Yeah, well, it's just kind of, you can't really do it with Dingo or Majestic here. Those resonances are just going to absolutely destroy them if that does happen to be the case. Now, why do they keep bidding up on Queen? Queen is really the only approachable target right now. She's the only melee. Everybody else has that kite ability, the dancing backwards. Devil X with that Sonic Zoom. Sky with the Suri Strike, the reposition, the forward barrage. So that's why we continually just keep like wailing on top of her, and that's why she has a little bit of extra shield. She has that life spring ready to go. If you can't bring her down, she's going to come right back all full power.
I like that Dark Potato is spending a lot of time with Majestic early on in this game. I feel like Majestic needs to help
nice
a little
stuff.
bit, but that was a great Githian wall onto Queen. Majestic, got to be careful not to overextend those. Look at the resonance bounces. Majestic quite low here, and with Wands coming in, he might try and commit for the kill. Good forward barrage on Dark Potato, finding some nice damage. He's going to keep the pressure on for the time being. But Dingo and Majestic, they're waiting in the wings. They want to turn this one around. Queen spots what's going on, backs away. Got Devil X rotating down here as well, though. Look at this death from above. Dingo has to trampoline out of there. Here comes the re-engage. Majestic trying to get on the back line. Devil X having to kite away. Majestic should be able to find this kill onto Queen, though. Wands got a lot of health. Not anymore, actually, but his energy is quite low. Forward barrage blocked by the Munions. They're going to be able to take him down as Devil X just barely uses the recall. Looks like G2 picks up another fight.
And just like what Zekin was talking about, you know, those Munions, real MVP right there. Ugly little critters. But, hey, if they tank out that forward barrage, Sky effectively is not going to really be doing too much in these fights. Her positioning is going to have to just be above and beyond excellent in order to kind of cut through that.
Yeah, it really is. That, or she's just going to have to try and poke down the Munions before a fight and burn a lot of Dingo's energy, so maybe he can't use an ultimate. That's a trade-off you could make, but at the moment it's not panning out really for Wands.
All right, so Devil X is back in lane.
Oh, that was a great root. Whoa, the stun not going to land, though. Majestic was not on it.
Wasn't there anyways. Yeah. Like, I really expected him to kind of leap forward right there.
Yeah, I thought he was going to position a bit further up, and now we've got the rotation out of Hunter, so trying to find some damage. Should be fun. Majestic looking to back away, though, and Dark Potato with a great Githian wall facilitates that.
The Killer Bunny Rona. Definitely one of those better-looking skins. I'm really a big fan of Rona. I'm not so much of a fan that's not on Dark Potato, but I got to say, his roaming, it's actually holding up very well. We have a lead for G2. It has developed into almost about 1,000 gold or so. And 6 minutes in, you know, our item progression not looking so bad. Majestic's gone all offensive. He has that Serpent's Mask ready to go. Dark Potato No sign of a fountain. Looks like maybe a Crucible first, or Warhorn.
That'd be an interesting buy. I'm not sure Crucible makes the most sense. Warhorn could be good, though, because you need to keep Majestic in position on 2 very mobile carries.
Yeah, but there's 3 sets of stuns here to Crucible.
Yeah, that's true, but they're not here just yet as the Gauntlet hasn't been leveled by Queen. We've also got Dingo picking up an alternating current, so he's going to be doing a lot of damage. Of course, with that Sunlight Heroic perk, you can get very quick attack speeds.
Right, yeah, the alternating current very likely into a Broken Myth, and then typically what we see for a 3rd item progression on Petals these days is Shiver Steel. You might say Frostburn, but you actually get a little bit more out of that on-demand feature from the Shiver Steel. It also gives you a heck of a lot more health.
That is very true. Hunter's starting to push up here in the lane now. They do have all 3 members nearby. Lots of damage for the turret, but Dark Potato wants to stop this one. Using that combat roll does keep him in range, but look, Forward Barrage really chunking him out here. No real backup until Majestic gets in. That's going to be a lot of damage coming onto Devil X's. Dingo comes from the wings. Another kill picked up, actually, for G2. That was a very close response, though. Dark Potato nearly going down before Majestic and Dingo could get there.
And you saw it just before Devil does go down. He threw out the wait for it. Again, it is almost like instinct. We talked about this a bit earlier. When he dies, it just seems like he hits it. So that's a little bit of a cooldown that's not going to be very useful here for 50 seconds or so. And G2 know that. So Majestic, you know, he's really brawling in this lane quite effectively.
Yeah, he's actually jumping in 1 versus 2 with the red mist. Look at the damage he's able to put out. Gauntlet popped by Queen, so he found both ultimates from Hunters there and did a decent amount of damage. Got away. That's a pretty nice 1 versus 2 trade.
That's baited and outsmarted right there.
Absolutely. Dark Potato, if he'd been able to rotate up a bit quicker, might have even been able to keep that fight going. See Dingo not really going for the rotations here, just farming up for the time being.
And Dingo is very safe to farm at this point. You don't really see a lot of solo invades from the Hunters. They do typically do what they're doing here. The hive mind mentality, the 3-man, the 2-man. So, yeah, they've been focusing a lot on this lane.
Dark Potato does find a nice Githian wall there, but Devil X can just zoom right back in. Majestic trying to exit the fray here as Queen moves forward.
Got split.
Yeah, no Gauntlet coming across because Queen used it, unfortunately, earlier on, so they're not going to be able to secure the kills. Dingo needs to go up here and defend this turret, though.
Well, that's going to be death from above. Not really too sure where his aim.
Oh, Dark Potato. Oh, great Githian wall, stunning everyone, but the wait for it turnaround could be big here. Dingo very low on the health bars. The Munyon Seed is going to spawn. Dingo does not go down. Wands with that wall actually had to move too far away to find the right angle for the forward barrage. It's going to be a close one, though. Devil X now hunted down by Majestic. Look at the Impale, comes across, lands onto both, but the Githian wall does not connect. Wands trying to get the turnaround, does find 1 kill onto Dingo. Can he get away, though? It's going to be very difficult. He's extremely low on the health bars right now. Great stun coming out from the death from above. Majestic trying to keep the fight going. Does have a lot of damage onto Queen, but not enough. It's going to be that 1-for-1 trade.
I got to say, Wands kited that out pretty brilliantly. I mean, not only with the stuns, but that forward barrage trying to make Dark Potato juggle it out. All we needed was 1 more lunge there from Dark Potato, would have been it, but didn't have it in the cards. And Dark Potato, when he did go back home because he died a little bit earlier, he did go for the life spring. So it looks like he was just really aiming to tank up before going into the fountain first.
Dark Potato also picked up a weapon blade, which I think is a very interesting choice.
Tension bow at 14 minutes, boys?
Well, you could see it. I mean, we did see Proc Lance quite a bit in Europe from Team Secret, who won the entire thing.
Maybe he's going Shiver Steel.
It's possible, yeah.
Could be. Either way, we'll have to keep an eye on that. He hasn't finished any of those tier 3s yet, and 10 minutes in, that's a little bit uncommon, but I like it. He has a good cadre at the tier 2s, and
certainly the fountain picked up. Quite nice. Majestic. He's 1 versus 3 trying to defend this turret right now, though. That could be a very bad situation for G2. Look at the damage on the Queen, though. Gauntlet coming out. Dark Potato is going to keep the pressure on. You can see Devil X and Wands finding a lot of return. Majestic jumping in. He's got the red mist. It just keeps him alive. Devil, he's got to zoom out of here yet again, but it's not enough spontaneous combustion, even keeping Majestic alive while taking the kill down on Devil. That was a very nice fight for G2. Wands now also quite low as Dark Potato. Great Githian wall stun into the turret. Finds the Impale also. It's an ace for G2. This game looking much stronger than game 1.
My goodness, yeah, no, these comps definitely a lot more balanced and really hitting the mark. G2 is right on track here to take us up into a game number 3. Dingo now is going to be able to solo out that gold mine, and this is definitely a weakness from the previous game where they weren't able to kind of do this. If Dingo goes a little bit further.
Oh, he's going to send on a scout trap. It's so close.
Oh, come on, if he actually dies here, this is going to be a really terrible
I cannot believe he did not land on that one, but here comes a re-engage. Queen jumping forward. They steal the gold mine. Immense payout collected for Hunters. Now they want Majestic. The red mist not keeping him alive. Dark Potato over the wall does find a good Githian wall, but he's alone. He's been abandoned by Dingo. Trying to get out of here. It's going to be very, very difficult as Wands finds a lot of forward barrage procs. and actually Hunters with a great turnaround. That gold mine was the biggest thing about that.
The gold mine, double kills. It's all because they had that vision. And Dingo sitting like on the scout trap, but not actually proccing it. He was basically right there in full vision. That's why they were to come down so confidently in order to get those kills. So we had, a nice ace from G2. They push down the turret. They do some really good, fantastic things, and then they kind of give up the gold mine. So, blow for blow. Hunters is not done with this game yet.
This is something we saw in Game 1, actually. G2 had some moments where they looked quite strong in Game 1,
right,
but then they overextended off of a small advantage and gave something bigger away. If they keep doing this, it's totally possible for Hunters to come back into things. They are behind
100%.
Right now, but not by a huge margin.
About 2,000 gold or so. We had a little bit of a bigger lead, but that gold mine, I mean, that was 900 by itself. The double kills from there, marginal, but still, call it, bridging that gap by 1,000 or so. And the Game 1 comp from G2 had that problem of trying to steal out these gold mines. Not really much of a problem for Hunters, it seems.
Yeah, Queen able to get that steal was huge, obviously. We are getting back into the game here. See Dingo just farming up those backhands. We have a Shiver steal picked up by Dark Potato, so he did go for that item like you expected he might.
Yep.
Hunters actually found a turret off of that exchange also, though. So now they're within 1,000 gold of G2.
Yeah, 1,000 is not enough of a lead going into this mid game, especially with just how much more powerful Vox and Sky are going to be scaling into that 15, 16, 17-minute mark. So 8-6 for kills. G2 feels a little bit more on the defensive. Majestic is just chilling there, no problem. But he also did pick up a Shiver Seal to go alongside that Serpent Mask. So there is a lot of stick-to-itiveness here. If we do pick up the triple Shiver Seal for Dingo, he does have that Broken Myth ready to go, then their chase potential is going to be great. And that might be the answer to the mobility that Hunters do have.
It's definitely a possibility. Dingo so far has got the Alternating Current and Broken Myth, very core build, which gives you a lot of damage. Dark Potato does steal away that camp, but Queen's here trying to back up Devil. They want to go for a fight, maybe Gauntlet coming across. Dingo, look at the forward barrage. It absolutely wipes him out. There was no spontaneous combustion in time. Dark Potato's on the wrong side of the map right now as Majestic tries to jump in and help him out. Devil has not got much energy right now. He's only going to be able to get that one Sonic Zoom, really, but Majestic getting wiped out by Wands. Good forward barrage. Dark Potato picks up one kill, but he's in 1 versus 2. He's only the roamer, doesn't have a lot of damage built. This could be very bad for G2. They might get aced here if Queen can go in quickly enough. Dingo, he respawns just as Dark Potato goes down. So G2, they don't get aced, but Hunters pick up all 3 kills off that fight.
Yeah, and that's the third time that this has happened this time because, 9-9 for the kills, the goal dead even, but it does seem like Hunters are starting to pull more and more ahead, and a lot of pressure being put on top of Devil X. He's the slippery one. He's the one doing the damage. Those resonance bounces will absolutely just destroy you if they do go unchecked. And Dingo melting on top of that fight, big props to Queen. Getting off that gauntlet basically won that fight.
So Hunters, it's worth noting as well that they're doing this well in fights, being about half an item behind G2. Like Dingo has both the AC and the Broken Myth. Devil X only has the components for the Broken Myth and the Alternating Current. Wands only has the components for probably an Eve of Harvest and the Broken Myth. So once they actually get those next 2 items, it's going to be huge. Broken Myth, in fact, just completed, as I mentioned, for Devil X. They're going to have a lot more damage moving into the second fight.
Yeah, 14 minutes is definitely starting to get a bit more to the panic time because at 15, we are going to have that Kraken coming down. And Majestic, he just seems to be not on the same page.
Look at the damage on Dingo as well. Wait for it, silencing Majestic. He can't jump in just yet, but Juan is very low. Oh, the Starry Strike just gets him out of the way from the Impale. Queen stunned into the wall, but being that tanky front line, she's not taking enough damage to really go down here. Dingo walks back in. Look at this, Wands over the wall, picks up the kill. Majestic moving too slowly to stick to the very mobile targets of Hunters, so they're going to pick up another 2. Dark Potato could be in a very bad position with Devil just hunting him down as Wands finds a great forward barrage. I don't see Dark Potato getting out of this one. It's going to be an ace this time for Hunters, and that was the effect of them picking up the big ticket items like I mentioned.
Yeah, now having a little bit more bang for your buck will go a long way, especially if you are trading out very even, and the game is still actually very even, but you can see Devils and Wands are going to be clearing out the jungle here, just trying to deny a little bit more farm. Looks like Devil is actually going to try to detour, has the ace buff minions. They got to get this turret down, so either way, I mean, putting more and more pressure up against King when they're losing more and more of their map pressure, and at this point, I mean, the fold is basically controlled by the Hunters.
Oh, absolutely, and Dingo actually trampling forward here is very bold. Look at the resonance bounces coming in from Devil X. Majestic wants to salvage something from that fight, but he's got to back away. Jumps right back into the gauntlet. Huge misplay coming in from Majestic as Wands kites them back. Great death from above, stunning up Dark Potato. He might be able to find the damage with an Impale to get the kill, but I'm not sure it's going to matter. Hunter, yeah, he doesn't even go down. Another clean ace for Hunters. Things have fallen apart for G2 in the last few minutes.
They're going to get this choke turret. The big question is, are they going to go for the neck right here, go for the throat, and try to end the game, or are they going to back out and play it safe?
Well, I mean, killing that turret has reduced the respawn timers of Dingo, so he's
Right.
back up, can do
a
some
lot of
damage from
minions.
Majestic coming back soon as well. At least one more turret is going to be picked up by Hunters, and if they find
Dingo.
a kill on the Dingo, they could perhaps go for more Majestic jumping in here, 1 versus 3. Dingo needs to get close enough to do the damage. Devil gets wiped out by the red mist. Fountain coming across from Queen just a little bit too late there. Now Queen trying to get away, does manage to avoid that impale. Majestic wants to keep the fight going though, jumping in yet again, and then just juking back out, baiting out the forward barrage from Wands is quite a good opportunity there for Dark Potato to maybe keep this fight going. But
No, they gotta
it
go
looks
for
like
Kraken.
yeah, they're going to bail for this, go for the Kraken. I like that decision. Hunters, I feel like they could threaten a steal here, or maybe even just win a team fight 2v3, because Majestic's already so low. They got to be careful. See Queen starting things off here, trying to jump on Dingo, but he needs more backup from Wands. Wands trying to deal with Dark Potato on the other side of the fight. Majestic walks over that scout trap. Good timing on the Fountain from Dark Potato. Wands still doing a nice amount, though. Surrey Strike already used. Githyan Wall does not land, so he's not going to have to worry about that stun coming across Queen. Trying to keep the chase going, and Devil X has made it back from base now. Wands going in again. Look at Dingo, very, very low here. Wait for it, does not connect, but with Devil X, he's got the AoE. The bounces are coming across. Queen picks up 1 kill. Devil X is not going to be going down to Majestic. Majestic just doesn't quite have it, or does he? No, not going to be able to pick up the kill. Dark Potato should be falling here as well. Maybe one more attack could do it, but a Fountain again coming in from Queen. So another ace for Hunters. They're going to pick up the Kraken here. I think this game is pretty close to being in the bag.
3v2, it's definitely a little bit more sad face right there. That G2 Penguin was not able to even take home, really anything positive out of that. They traded 1 for 3 again. They're about to lose this Kraken, and with only 1, crystal turret still remaining, this is basically a sealed deal here for Hunters as they do pick it up 2-0. And Devil X once more. I mean, he comes in late into that fight, but he cleans up 6 kills, 7 for Wands. Definitely, I think the best game we've seen from Wands. And Queen has just been absolutely on point with not only these gauntlets, but the fountains. And I gotta say that, I mean, the team from China definitely on point here.
Yeah, they really are, and they're looking to close this one out, guys. If they win this game, they will have won 2 out of 3, and therefore have acquired 3rd place in the Samsung Galaxy Vainglory Invitational. But G2, they're not quite out of it yet. They have an outside chance of maybe coming back into this game if they can do something special here. Dingo, he actually burnt spontaneous combustion before the fight, though. That's a big skill that they don't have. Majestic trying to jump in. This is their opportunity, but a beautiful gauntlet coming in from Queen. Dingo zoned out of the fight completely as Wands just hunts down Dark Potato right now. Dark Potato, if he can't back to do anything against this Kraken, there's no way that G2 are going to defend this. And with only, well, in fact, no turrets left, Hunters are just going to walk in, take the game. They are your 3rd place team here at the Samsung Vainglory Invitational. Very impressive play from Hunters from China.
Yeah, Dark Potato is now a dead potato. So another ace comes through, and the minions and the Kraken. Beautiful game play. The double crystals, not something that we got to see a lot of in NA or EU, but back-to-back wins for the Hunters team using that crystal Vox as kind of their mainstay. But having the Vox, having the Sky, the mobility factor, absolutely outstanding. The dance circles around Kingwen, and the double Shiver Steal, I got to say, it was a great idea. They just couldn't stick to them.
Yeah, I mean, this is the thing. With Double Crystal, you've got 2 ways to play it, right? Either you play very mobile Crystal Mages like Sky and the Vox, and they can kite around, and that's how they stay safe, or you play it with perhaps like a Lance as your roamer to give them a lot of space to do what they need to. Hunters, they chose the very mobile option, and even though Dark Potato itemized against it, they couldn't get into the right positions quickly enough, and sometimes they overextended. The synergy, maybe the coordination just wasn't quite there.
There's so much just shield power here, and it just did not matter. The Resonance bounces Queen with those gauntlets. Again, like, if I had to give an MVP, I think I might actually say Queen. But, you know, these guys playing on the new Galaxy Samsung S7s looked like they were still able to pull out those big moves. So big props to them, and thanks so much for Samsung to have this Vainglory Invitational here. It was a good time.
It was indeed, and actually we've got the grand finals coming up a little bit later between Team Solo Mid and Invincible Armada. That's going to be an awesome game. I'm really, really looking forward to seeing if maybe they utilize some of the odd strategies we've seen these teams executing earlier on today. I'd love to see a lane Finn. Actually, that would be really, really cool.
From TSM, yeah, I would definitely peg it for TSM, but Flash was taking all those notes yesterday. He definitely has something up his sleeve, and before we get to the Battle Royale, I got to say, Mr. Humanist, like, the games, I thought that, really cool strats from both sides.
Yeah, I mean, it caught me a little off guard, honestly. I wasn't ready for it, but it was working out. They were trading back and forth. G2 full divide. I got to appreciate that. And, I mean, Jackson, did it catch you by surprise as well? Did you see it coming?
I did not see it coming, I gotta be honest. I really was surprised by the comps, both games from G2. They were trying some very unorthodox things, which I admire. You know, this is definitely the time to try it at the beginning of a new patch. You can really experiment, and if you can find the new things first, put you in a great spot. Zekan, do you think that what they were trying made sense here?
Honestly, I think it was a very solid composition coming out from G2. I mean, the pedal pick into the sky was actually fantastic. However, the Vox was able to take over that game, and Devil X just showing a lot of mechanical skill in that matchup.
Yeah, I mean, Devil X, he was just there every time they needed him. Once that last fight, granted, he was doing a lot of work, but the thing is, Devil X, he was just so consistently there for his team when he needed to be. The wait for it's always on point, and it was just coming down these choke points like every single time, and oftentimes landing on 3.
Oh yeah, it was absolutely fantastic to watch. I mean, Wands on this guy, just the death from above, able to cut off team fights so incredibly well, and Queen on that Arden, the guns were absolutely fantastic.
All right, well, we could talk about it all day, but we have a replay to recap all of that action right now. Maybe see some of those 3-man wait for it's. So, yeah, you can see right here just a lot of choke point fighting. This is actually a fight that was going the way of G2, and many of the fights earlier on did go their way. Juan's trying to back up with that forward barrage, couldn't get away from those Munions, dancing around in the gauntlet here. And you can see, you know, Majestic. With this, actually, this fight right here, the fortified health building up on him keeps him alive for quite a while.
This is actually a fantastic dive coming out from G2. They are able to get 2 kills for themselves, and I believe they go for another dive to finish off Wands at the end.
Yeah, and yeah, pretty easy deal once you're able to lock onto a target like that. One last man standing there, no fear on the turret. And, you know, they got into these situations right here. G2 just a little overzealous. Majestic, bit over, you know, forward in his positioning, and he will pay for it. And then Dark Potato, you know, he goes down.
Yeah, he was doing what he could, but it just was not enough. I mean, Majestic on that Rona was able to do so much damage when he did get the red mist going, but it just the mobility coming out from Hunters, just let them dodge around Majestic, and it just was not enough to stick to them.
Yeah, I mean, for G2, it really felt like you need to engage and catch your target. If you do not grab them, if the Shiver Seal's not landing, you're going to lose the fight, basically, because they're going to be able to dance around and just kite you back.
Yeah, it's very difficult for G2 to make any winning fights out of the situation, but they were able to take quite a few in the early game, and they showed. They were a very strong team in the early game. It just was not enough to take it home.
Yep, and just fight after fight started going the way of Hunters, and at the end of the day, they take the series 2-0 and secure 3rd place here at the Samsung Galaxy Vainglory Invitational. And, you know, if we had to pick an MVP of this game, of this series, who would you go for?
Honestly, I got to go with Devil X. He was absolutely fantastic. His positioning on Vox was very much on point, and he was able to just dance around these fights so incredibly well, dodging skill shots left and right. 7-5-9, not the greatest scoreline, but he was able to keep his CS up. He was able to take his team to a victory.
Yeah, I know. He definitely was indeed. And as you say, like, it's not the most impressive KD I've ever seen in my life, but he was consistently there in every single team fight. The wait for it's were there. Every time he needed to silence an opponent, they were silenced. It was just, you couldn't ask for more.
Yeah, he was very much on point, and it's very interesting to see how he did play in this matchup, because there were so many things that he had to dodge, especially like the lance and just the pedal especially. Like, choosing the right target against a pedal is very interesting.
I think G2 was having some fun with that. I was having fun watching that composition. Maybe we'll see some of that out in our pub or ranked matches.
Yeah, it could be very interesting to see if, you know, in 1.19, the next update, maybe they're trying some things, getting ready for the next update.
All right. Well, speaking of things that are coming up next, we're going to have some more community battle royale matches for you guys. It's going to be a best of 3 series. I'll get the rosters here in a second and let you know who's playing. And after that, we'll be coming back with Team Solo Mid up against Invincible Armada for our finals matches. So it's going to be really good. But before we get into any of that stuff, guys, we're going to take a quick break. So don't go anywhere, and we'll be right back.